They were actually kind of fun to watch on offense today. New England, they got to go back and they got to find a new formula after these last couple losses. What do we do that gives us a chance to win the game in Buffalo? Up there, I would say that means you got to try to play it close. You got to be very consistent with the running game, and you just got to somehow find a way to win it late in the game.
New England now 6-4 in the season, and you can't find too many other ways to lose in the AFC East. Once again, Miami 27, New England 17. Coming up next on the CBS Sports Spectacular, Toys R Us Victory Tour featuring the 1999 World Cup Championship U.S. Women's Soccer Team. But first, to our studios in New York for the American General postgame show. For Phil Simms and Armin Katayan, Greg Gumbel, so long from Miami. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Stadium in Kansas City where the Seahawks take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Seattle with a 2-game lead over the Chiefs in the AFC Western Division. And a pleasant good afternoon, everyone, with Sam Weich. This is Kevin Harlan. If Kansas City does not win today, Sam, they are 3 games out with 6 games to play.
Well, I think they have to win this game. If they don't win this game at home where they're undefeated, I don't think they have a chance at the AFC West.
And it's a rugged schedule coming up with the game at Oakland and at Denver coming up in the next couple of weeks. Seattle is banged up on defense.
Well, Sam Adams didn't make the trip. Darren Smith didn't make the trip. Michael Sinclair is going to have limited action today. He and Matt Labonte are going to split action. Defensively, it'll be a test for him.
It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Seahawks next on CBS. Filled Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City with Sam Weich, Kevin Harlan. It will climb to 60 degrees today. There is a breeze, a bit gusty out of the east. And wonderful sunshine here as Scott Bentley is employed just to kick off. One of 4 kickers in the NFL that do just that. And we are underway, and this is Amon Green from the 12-yard line from Seattle. He is hit and brought down, a fumble on the play and recovered by the Seahawks at the 33. It looked like perhaps Jay Bellamy jumped on it and saved it for Coach Mike Holmgren of the Seattle Seahawks.
Mike Holmgren's teams have started fast, and John Kitna told us yesterday that it's important to take the crowd out early here at Arrowhead by starting fast, scoring first. They scored 5 out of their last 9 games on the opening drive.
Sam, John Kitna is the 4th-rated NFL quarterback coming into today, number 1 in the AFC.
After Drew Bledsoe had a little rough week last week, he moved to number 1 in the AFC. We got an injury on the field.
Mike Maslowski, who is their leading special teams tackler. As the crowd in full throat already from the 34, 1st and 10. Play action by Kitna with time, and it's caught by the tight end Fourier. It's good for a first down, a gain of 11 yards. He's up to the 45. Marcus Patton makes the tackle. The Seattle offense comes into today 23rd in the NFL, but 8th in points scored. An emerging star in Walter Jones with Kendall, Gray, Habib, and Grant Williams. In the backfield, Brown is back after the toe injury. The current Ricky Waters with Dawkins and Mays as receivers. The tight end is Fourier. First down and 10 with the lead block from Brown. Here comes Ricky Waters inside Kansas City territory. Down to the 49, picks up 6 on the play. And the tackle is made by Chester McLaughlin. The Kansas City defense, number 12 in the NFL. Hicks, the great Chester McLaughlin, having a stellar season with Tom Barnt and Dan Williams. Linebackers, Patton remains in the middle, and they flank Thomas to one side, and Donnie Edwards now playing on the other. And in the secondary, the hard-hitting safeties are Tongue and Woods, the cornerbacks Dishman and James Hasty. It's 2nd down and 4 from the Kansas City 49. Looks like he's changing the play.
This is going to a pass play. They're getting the backs ready to block.
And he does get the blocking, and it goes to the sideline, and it's incomplete. He had pressure up the middle, and it was from the signature defensive lineman, Chester McLaughlin. It's incomplete. That brings up 3rd down and 4.
Chester McLaughlin was in on the tackle in the previous play all over the field. He's had 8 tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Yet to have a sack this year, but he is a factor every time that ball snaps.
Kansas City Chiefs bring in Eric Warfield as their dime back. 3rd down and 4. The game-opening drive from the Kansas City 49. And you can see the Seahawks not all that good on 3rd down conversions. Kansas City is called a timeout. You're right, Chester McLaughlin.
You know, Kansas City has created a turnover in each of their last 4 games on the opening drive. This drive, not yet.
Chiefs ranked number 1 in the giveaway takeaway. We take a timeout. Galloway was away. Derek Mays was emerging as a receiver. Those two together make a pretty potent duo.
Joey Galloway opens everything up even more for all the wide receivers, including Derek Mays.
So it's 3rd and 4 after the Kansas City defensive timeout from the Chiefs 49. The pitch out to Waters, broken down and brought down by Donnie Edwards.
Donnie Edwards is right up on the line of scrimmage right here. He's going to come across before anybody can move. That's the style. See him get across. He breaks everybody's plane there. Pete Kendall is the pulling guard. He can't get there in time.
So now Seattle has got a punt. Jeff Feagles is back inside the 30-yard line. He is in a slump right now, only averaging 39 yards per punt. And deep back, the ever dangerous Tamark Vanover, who in his NFL debut in '95 returned a kick for a touchdown. Feagles gets it high. They've been working on this all week long. At the 9-yard line, he gets a block from Horn and a block from Carlton Gray, but finds very little room to roam. Up to the 16-yard line, it's a 47-yard punt. It's a 7-yard return with the tackle made by Deans May. We're scoreless. Tom Woods and the Kansas City defense did their job to begin the game, and now from the 17-yard line, Gunther Cunningham will have his offense begin at 1st down and 10 yards to go. Alexander in motion. There's a pulling block, and the handoff goes to Rashawn Sheehy with very little room to roam as Anthony Simmons makes the tackle. Gunther Cunningham, an 18-year assistant coach in the NFL, first-year head coach in the league right now, and he's got his quarterback Elvis Gerback out there as a Kansas City starter. 15 wins and 11 losses.
1-1 against 1-1 against these Seattle Seahawks. Big, tall guy. Has a lot of range, gets away from center well.
From the 17, 2nd down and 10. Good block by Riley. Here comes the rush. They set up the screen pass. It's caught by Richardson. Breaks a tackle from Logan. Moves, breaks a tackle from Kennedy. Cuts inside. Has blocking. Here comes Chad Brown to bring him down at the 40-yard line. And a flag is down on the play. A 45-yard gain as it stands now. And some wonderful blocking by the Chiefs, but flags are on the field on what stands now as a 45-yard gain. Jeff Triplett is our referee, and it is against Kansas City, wiping it away.
Well, it's going to be against Rashawn Sheehy way down the field, trying to make one more block for Tony Richardson.
Illegal block in the back on the offense, number 22. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Pretty play, though, Kevin. They had the motion going away to the left to right. There was the overshift to the offensive right side of the line, and Elvis Gerback did a good job of looking right in his drop. He held his look and his gaze to the right side, and then at the last minute laid it off to Tony Richardson. But a big, big play. Made into a good play, got him a 1st down.
Exactly, up to the 36-yard line, and a bit of breathing space for Gerback, who is hampered by some bad beginning field position last week in Tampa.
Well, you know, if you got to drive a long way against a team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you're in trouble to begin with. Not as big a hurdle right here against Seattle this week.
1st and 10, the pass is caught by the shifty wide receiver Derek Alexander, who leads the AFC and is number 2 in the NFL in yards per catch on that line. Kansas City's offense 15th in the NFL. Parker, Zott, Grunhard, Will Shields, 4 consecutive Pro Bowls, and Victor Riley. Richardson and Sheehy in the backfield. Sheehy played at Washington. Andre Rison and Derek Alexander, the wide receivers. And Tony Gonzalez is the record-setting Chiefs tight end.
He'll be a factor in this ball game before it's over. Gonzalez will.
2nd down and 3 from the 43, and it's Tony Richardson banging up the middle past the 45, gaining 2, and still about a yard shy of a 1st down. Tackle made by Logan. Now the Seahawks defense, 25th in the NFL, but 7th in points allowed, and that's what you need to remember with Sinclair, who's injured. Parker, Kennedy, and Phillip Daniels. Riddick Parker taking the place of the injured Sam Adams. Simmons is flanked by Logan and Brown. Darren Smith is out. Logan is in there. Springs and Williams, the quarterbacks. Williams and Bellamy are the safeties. 3rd down and 1. Janelle Bennett gets a block, throws up the middle, and the guy that gave him the block on the gain of 5 yards was Tony Richardson, and it's a 1st down for the Chiefs.
Tony Richardson comes up and cleans out number 51, comes in here. Richardson's going to make the block right in the hole. Watch what happens. Here's the block. Here comes Richards, number 49. There's the block. Good blocking up front by the offensive line, too. Those are the no-name guys, Will Shields and Riley, and then Tim Grunhard to the center. Left that first opening for Tony Richardson to go in and make the cleanup block.
From midfield, 1st and 10 for the Chiefs. Play action. Here comes the rush. He's hit by Simmons. The quarterback gets the pass away to Andre Rison. Just his 9th catch of the season. Tackle made by Springs. It's a gain of 19 to the Seattle 30-yard line.
Now you see the shallow cross coming by the tight end. That holds the underneath coverage, and the ball is thrown over the top to Andre Rison. He gets a little bit of pressure now. Chad Brown, number 94, going to be right in behind him. He can feel him, and of course pressure right up the middle as well. Elvis Gerbach is much better when he takes a 7-step drop. Gunther Cunningham told us yesterday he's a good 80% completion man at 7 steps. Not so much with the short drops.
It's Bennett on 1st and 10. Tries to carve out a couple. Gets as far as the 26 and picks up 3. Riddick Parker chopped him down. And talking about Rison, that's only his 9th catch of the year. But what a great influence he has been, they tell us, in the locker room.
Well, you know, he's been around long enough now to know that he doesn't have to be the guy, and he doesn't have to ask to be the guy all the time. A lot like Ricky Waters on the other side of the ball with Seattle. It's just called growing up in the league. You get around it long enough, you realize there is a role to play for everybody.
He's not the featured star as he once was, a diminishing role, but nonetheless a big play right there. 2nd down 7 from the 26.5-yard line. The pitch out to Sheehy, a block from Shields, but great coverage on the defense. Sean Springs is there. Kerry Joseph was in the play, and they throw Sheehy for a loss of 3.
The guy, though, that really made that happen was Chad Brown. He came up and took all the blockers out. Got penetration into the backfield, forced the runner to bow around, giving all those other defenders a chance to pursue. Chad Brown, of course, one of the great, and I mean that is the superlative defensive players in the league.
He led the AFC in tackles a season ago. He's been to 2 of the last 3 Pro Bowls. Probably the best player on the team.
And leader as well. He kind of sets a tone for the rest of that defense.
3rd down and 10, 9th play of the drive from the Seahawks 30 for the Chiefs. Another change here.
Change of plays. The hand signals help the wide receivers, but he's running out of time on the 40-second clock.
Sammy had 1 second left, and Kansas City has got to burn a 2nd timeout. So the Chiefs have 1 left, and we're still early in the game with 8 to play in the 1st.
Michael Sinclair led the National Football League in sacks in 1998. We're walking up the ramp with him after practice yesterday. He's got a noticeable limp, a pulled growing muscle. He won't play every snap, but he's going to play hard when he's in there.
It's 3rd down and 10 from the Seahawks 30 after the Kansas City timeout. They're chasing Gerbach with Riddick Parker and Cortez Kennedy, but he gets the pass off to Derek Alexander. He gets a 1st down to the Seahawks 18-yard line. He picks up 12 on 3rd and 10, forced out of bounds by Chris Canning.
Watch when he's flushed to the outside. Watch the quarterback's head and eyes. He never leaves the downfield look. Coming across the field is Alexander to get him out of trouble. The other thing the quarterback does is he never loses the grip, and after it's over with, he's got that fist. That grip becomes a that-a-boy. Everybody helping, not just the blockers, but the receiver getting open for him late downfield.
On the Kansas City 1st drive, it's 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line of the Seahawks. Fake handoff, deceptive fake by Gerbach, being chased by Phillip Daniels, and he gets the pass off to his tight end, Tony Gonzalez, with his team-leading 34th reception, tackled by Chad Brown. And let's call it a gain of 5 on the play to the 13.
Tony Gonzalez now right here. He's going to block for a moment. He's a protector. Then he feels the quarterback running out of time. He becomes an emergency receiver. Quarterback made a terrific fake, but there was nothing downfield.
How about Chad Brown staying right with him? He was not fooled at all.
He's an all-pro. He's not supposed to be fooled. He gets paid big bucks for that.
Big bucks.
More than you get.
2nd down and 5. Gerbach, who is 5 of 5 throwing, hands off to Danelle Bennett, who tried to cut, was slipping on the turf, and down he goes. Anthony Simmons touched him. Down goes Danelle Bennett, one of a succession of halfback starters on this team. The starter last year, they traded for Bam Morris. He then went to the bench, and this year began as the backup fullback on the team.
Well, this is a football team that likes to run the ball. That was their MO when Marty Schottenheimer was the coach, and under Gunther Cunningham it continues on.
Mark him at the 12. So now it is 3rd down and 4, the 12th play of the Chiefs drive with Sheehy on the move. Gerbach with time, great block by Grunhard. Good block. Now here comes Michael Sinclair chasing Gerbach, And Gerback throws out of bounds and into row 5. Michael Sinclair was all over him since 1996. He is number 2 in the NFL in sacks behind Kevin Green.
And you know, when we watched him, you noticeably limping as he came up the field. For him to be able to chase down a runner and change direction, number 70 now, you see that reverse, that turnaround, all of that is putting stress on what is already an injury, and it's hard for you to lift your legs. That growing muscle makes it hard for you to pump your legs high and make those kinds of quick turns. He's fighting through some pain.
29-yard field goal try by Pete Stoyanovich, who has kicked 10 for 10 at home this year. They get 11 of 11. And the Chiefs cap a 13-play drive with the 29-yard field goal, and they take an initial lead over the Seahawks, 3-0. 29-yard field goal by Pete Stoyanovich, but on that 13-play drive by Gerback, 5 of 6 through the air, hitting 4 different receivers.
You know, he's such a poised football player. He's been through the mill. He's got that deep drop so that he can quick clearance and he can find those receivers late.
Maslowski is back out there. Here's the kick into the sun from the 4-yard line. Amon Green from the University of Nebraska gets a Fabian Bones block, and then he's brought down by Carlton Gray. Tumbling at the 38, a return of 35 yards on the return by Vano.
An important part of football is making sure you don't turn the ball over more than your opponent. Seattle plus 10. They're trumped by the league leading number 1 in the NFL, plus 17 for the Kansas City Chiefs. Last week, they created 6 turnovers against Tampa Bay, but only got 3 points out of it. That's where they're falling short. Once you create that turnover, you got to make something happen.
So Green's return puts him at the 38, first down and 10. Good block by Jones. The pass deflected and fluttered and caught by Mays. Now they're going to rule it incomplete. We thought he got it. The umpire had a different thing. Mays does not grab it. Incomplete, second down and 10.
Derek Mays going against his zone defense. See, Chris Dishman is going to let him go. He falls back. The ball is tipped. Once that ball is tipped, there is no interference down the field, by the way. There wasn't any right there, but you can make contact once the ball is tipped. He got to the ground before he got to Mays.
Mays is their leading receiver, acquired just before the season started when he was let go by Green Bay and traded to Seattle. It's second down and 10 from the 38. Handoff to Ricky Waters. The emotional Waters spun down. Derek Thomas with the play. No gain. It'll be third and 10. Let's check in with Jim Nance in New York. Jim. Tennessee coming in at 7-2. Pittsburgh at 5-4. Pittsburgh has lost 5 of their last 6 games. It's third down and 10 from the 38. They bring the blitz. Good blocking for Kitna. Great time. The throw intercepted by Eric Warfield. Eric Warfield, a 7th-round pick from Nebraska, who has burned Sam twice last week in Tampa, comes up with a big play here.
Covering Derek Mays. Kansas City came with the all-out blitz, but they didn't get to the quarterback. Warfield had to cover him for a long time when you're in a blitz situation. He kept his position underneath Derek Mays so he could make the interception. You're right. Last week he had a tough day. Got beat twice by Jacquez Green for touchdowns. Trent Dilfer to Green in that Tampa Bay loss 17-10.
So we had a good week of practice. The coach got back in his head, first and 10, and the handoff to Donnell Bennett, who cuts and follows a block of Zott and works his way for a gain of 5 up to the 42-yard line, brought down eventually by Michael Sinclair. Coming up next, it's the CBS Sports Spectacular as members of the '99 World Cup Championship team, including Mia Hamm, square off indoors against some of the best international players in the Toys R Us Victory Tour. That's coming up next on CBS.
Watch out, NFL. Women's soccer is making some headway in this country, I tell you, after the success of late.
Second down and 6 from the Kansas City 43. Ronnie Johnson, the tight end, in motion. The pass is caught by the other tight end, Gonzalez, and he's up the midfield with the first down. It's a gain of 7 yards, and he's brought down by Kerry Joseph.
The motion by Johnson stretches the defense. The linebacker moves out. It was James Logan. Now watch, he's going to go into the flat. He's just going to run a little bit of a hook pattern right here. He's just going to turn out and stop. But you see there's nobody between it because the motion pulled the linebacker, James Logan, wide. Don't make too much of a pattern out of it. Just get open and turn around and complete the pass. First down.
So Gonzalez gets his second reception from the 50, 1st and 10. Back going deep. He's looking for Horn, who is held up a bit by Willie Williams, and coupled with the defense of Kerry Joseph. It is incomplete.
It looked like Elvis Gerbach either got stepped on or turned his ankle as he let that ball go.
That happened last week in Tampa, too.
Yep. In fact, 2 weeks ago, he was hit late in the ball game. Warren Moon had to come in and finish the game. Looks like he just got hit there on the ankle a little bit. Those are the kind of things you don't know how bad you're hurt, but you play through them.
2nd down and 10 after the Warfield interception from midfield. Good time for Gerbach. There's a screen pass. There's a block by Shields and a block by Riley, and it's Rashawn Sheehy all the way to the Seattle 35. Willie Williams the tackle. It's a gain of 16 yards by the University of Washington Husky Sheehy.
Watch Will Shields now. Don't watch the ball this time. Just watch the offensive lineman. He's right out in front. Number 68. Here's a block right there. Got a little help from somebody else, and then downfield. Look at the blocking that's taking place. That was number 81, Kevin Lockett. Everybody playing team offense.
Sheehy looked good last week. 10 carries and 54 yards against Tampa Bay. First down after the Warfield interception from the 33, and here comes the shifty Sheehy. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. Cortez Kennedy playing outstanding football. Makes the tackle on Sheehy.
A little bit slow getting up right here. You feel the tempo, the momentum of this game, but also the tempo of this game. Run the football, set up everything else, pound away at that defense, make them play honest. With a guy like Rashawn Sheehy, he's only averaging 3.8 a carry, but he is explosive. He's not only big, but he's got speed once he breaks clean.
Chiefs on top on a 29-yard field goal. 2nd down, long 8 from the Seahawks 32. Good block by Richardson. The pass by Gerbach is right on the money and lassoed by Kevin Lockett. It's a gain of 3. Kevin Lockett, the most prolific wide receiver in the history of Kansas State.
Sean Springs, all-pro defensive back. Now watch, he's going to overrun this a little bit. Really, patterns break off at about 12 yards, about 18 yards, and about 22 yards. This time he broke it off at about 5.
Kid is slight of build, but they love his speed. He's got great hands. He's a high pick out of Kansas State, and he is an emerging star on this offense.
He's a hands catcher too, Kevin. He catches the ball with his hands. He can reach out full extension and still make the completion. 3rd down and 5, 7th play of the drive from the Seahawks 28. Gerbach, who has hit 6 different receivers, being chased by Lamar King and brought down. That is the rookie Lamar King's first NFL sack, the only Division II player drafted this past year in the 1st round. From this side, you'll see him, number 92. Now what? On the right side, Chad Brown was absolutely KO'd. Lamar King in for Philip Danielson right in here. Watch him coming straight up the field. He's going to make the quick outside move, or inside move, excuse me, and break. There's no chance because on the right side, Chad Brown had him boxed out.
And effectively, they have taken the Chiefs, and more importantly, Stoyanovich out of field goal range with that sack, so Kansas City's got a punt. And here's rookie free agent Danny Pope out of Alabama. Replacing Louis Aguiar is now at Green Bay. Deep back Charles Jordan, an ex-Green Bay Packer. He watches this die inside the 5, and they down it at the 7-yard line. He had a bad week last week in Tampa, but the rookie comes up with one there. A 35-yard punt. The Seahawks with their backs against the wall. And Chiefs couldn't convert. There was a big play by Lamar King, which brought Kansas City out of field goal range.
Knocked him out. Seahawks in the first 2 possessions. 7 plays, 10 yards, and 1 turnover.
After the great punt by Daniel Pope from the 8-yard line. 1st and 10. There goes a flag, and they blow that dead in mid-motion. So we'll stop the play. So Kansas City has kicked the field goal, and here's Jeff Triplett.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 71 in the offense. Right after distance to the goal, remains 1st down.
Mike Holmgren told us yesterday they've been working on all this noise in Arrowhead.
Well, they have a bubble out there, and they live in a residential area there, and they turn this noise on. Mike actually said he had the neighbors over for pizza and went door to door, knocking on the door saying, please bear with us. We've got to turn this noise on so we can get ready to play in stadiums like Arrowhead.
They practice and office in Kirkland, Washington, a nice suburb of Seattle. And they actually sent out notes saying our noise is going to be big on Fridays from 2 to 5. So go shopping. First down and 14. Another flag is thrown, and the handoff goes to Ricky Waters, who's eventually brought down by defensive lineman Eric Hicks. It's a gain of 6 as things stand right now.
This is going against Seattle again, if Kansas City's body language means anything. Now John Kitna says it's against Kansas City, so we'll see who's right.
Offside. Defense. Left end lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Second Kansas City penalty. Tonight on CBS, Hallmark Hall of Fame presents Glenn Close and Christopher Walken in a television event. Sarah Plain and Tall, Winner's End. Final chapter in this great American epic. Tonight on CBS.
Here's the crowd again. That's what that bubble back in Seattle is going to do, Mark.
It's 1st and 9. A block by Grant Williams can't unleash Ricky Waters. And Chris Dishman brings him down. It's a gain of 2 on the play.
That time Reggie Brown was trying to block Chris Dishman, just couldn't get any movement at all. And once you hold your position right there, knowing you've got pursuit, just a little trip will knock the runner down.
There's Reggie Brown, who's been out the last couple games in a starting fullback role because of a toe injury, and they had Max Strong back there. But that will take us to the end of the first quarter. So a Kitna interception. Chiefs can't convert, but on the opening drive, Elvis Gerback and the Chiefs march 13 plays and get a 29-yard field goal by Stoyanovich. The Chiefs need a win to stay alive. If Seattle wins, their lead in the AFC West builds to 3 games. We'll return to Arrowhead after this. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Arrowhead crackling today. Coming up in the NASDAQ halftime report, Jim, Craig, Randy, and Jerry will get you caught up on all the scores. Up next on the NASDAQ halftime report, we begin the second quarter with Seattle facing 2nd down and 7. A Daniel Pope punt put them deep in their own zone. Kevin Harlan and Sam Weiss at capacity-filled Arrowhead. Kitna, the short drop, the quick throw, and a leaping catch by 6'4" wide receiver Sean Dawkins. It's a gain of 12 yards on the play. He caught the game-winning touchdown last week of 20 yards to beat Denver.
Just the quick 3-step drop. Now Kitna doesn't waste any time. He knows where he's going before the snap of the ball. It's called a pre-snap read. That's why the quarterback comes up under center, puts his hands under center to lock the defense into that read, glances left or right, makes his decision.
Former #1 pick by Indianapolis, played there 5 years. Last year played for Mike Dick in New Orleans, signed as a free agent this offseason. It's 1st and 10 from the 22. And they give it off to Ricky Waters, who catapults his way over the 25 and up to the 27 on a gain of 3. 4 consecutive 1,000-yard rushing seasons for Ricky Waters.
Now, Ricky Waters, Mike Holmgren was telling us yesterday, has used the M word, matured. He's grown up. He's kind of playing the role of Jerry Rice or Tom Rathman or John Taylor did in San Francisco. He knows his role. He knows there are other players are going to play. He doesn't have to get the ball every time.
It's 2nd down and 7. It's once again Ricky Waters up to the 40-yard line, brought down by Woods. A gain of 14 yards on the play by Ricky Waters, who came as a free agent last year from Philadelphia.
Watch the seal off by the offensive line right here. Just a quick pitch. Everything's sealed off inside. They let one man go free. That's number 98, Eric Hicks. Or Dan Williams, excuse me, on that side. And Ricky Waters may be playing his role, but he still gets excited when things go well.
6 carries and 18 yards. Yeah, you're right. Very emotional play.
Nothing wrong with that.
From the 41st and 10. Great time to pass downfield, looking for Galloway. It's incomplete. James Hasty, one of the best in the business, was stride for stride with Galloway. That's the first pass they have thrown to Galloway this afternoon.
It's called a go pattern or a fly pattern. There is absolutely nothing fancy about it. He wanted to go outside. Most go patterns, you try to get the outside position, but when it's taken away, you just jump back inside and turn on the jets.
Sammy held out 101 days. He was fined $210,000 in lost income, over $837,000.
Well, he'll probably make it up someday, right?
He might. There's a false start on the line on a 2nd and 10 from the 40-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks.
You know, that's what I don't understand about the holdouts. You never recover the lost money that you make in a holdout situation. The team is hurt by it. You're hurt by it professionally as well as financially. And the bottom line is nobody's a winner.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 79 to the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Last week, though, Joey Galloway came in, caught 4 passes. Mike Holmgren told us that Galloway and Holmgren are kind of in a polite stage right now after the contract talks, and while he's making these great catches for him, they're just going to be nice to each other and not even talk about extending the contract until they get out of this polite stage.
I wonder what Holmgren, the coach, was telling Holmgren, the general manager.
They were probably being very polite to each other, too.
Second down, 15. Here comes Eric Hicks and McLaughlin, and Edwards in the pass is incomplete and out of bounds. Chris Dishman was on the side. He thought he had picked it off, but it is incomplete. Dishman, a veteran and a Pro Bowler 2 years ago.
Going to go right quick to his outside. Seattle does a good job of not giving you a same landmark every time. He doesn't just drop back 5 or 7 steps. Oh, he's got to get both feet in bounds. It looked like he only had one. Galloway on the little quick out move. Tries to sit on the sideline. That one's telegraphed just a little bit too much. Dishman caught it, but out of bounds.
Kitna has struggled. He's 2 of 7 with the pick today. 3rd down and 15 from the 35. A block by Fourier in a pass. Caught by Dawkins. Bobbled it. Reels it in. Has the first down on a spectacular play. Chris Dishman was beaten a gain of 16 yards on 3rd and 15. And the lunge as he was being brought down was the key.
Seattle is tied for 23rd in the NFL in offense, but they make plays like this. They make crucial plays to keep drives going. Watch him put the ball away. Now watch him reach out at the very end of this to try to make sure he gets the first down. That's second effort.
Great shot by our camera crew here at Arrowhead. It is a first down to the Chiefs 49. Handoff to Ricky Waters. Follows a block by Brian Habib and picks up a meager yard on the play. Down to the 48. Tackle made by Tom Barnes.
You know, talking about the drives, though, Seattle doesn't have the long drives. They've only had 7 10-play drives or more this entire season. Only Cleveland is worse with 5 of those. So they've scored quick. They scored sometimes on the short field. And, of course, Mike Holmgren, the, quote, West Coast offense came through there with Bill Walsh. And in Green Bay had the same offense. He's got the team spread out one time, in tight the next, got everybody guessing on defense.
Seattle has been digging out of the hole. They began at their own 8 on this drive. Second down and 9. Kitna is flushed from the pocket. It's caught by Waters, and there he goes down the sideline inside the Kansas City 25 to the 23. It's a gain of 25 yards on second down and 9. Tackle made by Reggie Tong.
Watch Kitna's eyes this time. The token fake looking straight ahead, and then at the last minute he pulls it back. This is not a screen play, even though you see linemen out there. The play was designed to look like a screen and throw down the middle. But when the down the middle wasn't there, he came back to the screen area there. Ricky Waters makes the big play for him.
Ricky Waters played under coach Mike Holmgren with San Francisco, so he was used to this West Coast offense.
I think coaches like to get a few players they've had before, and it gives them a little confidence in what they're doing.
On the 23, here comes Chester McLaughlin. Kitna gets away, and the pass is right on the money and close to a first down to tight end Christian Fourier. Marcus Paquin, the middle linebacker, makes the tackle. How Kitna got away, I do not know.
Chester McLaughlin has had a terrific year, but he is yet to have a sack. There was his chance to get it. Makes a lot of tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Has 8 of them coming into this ball game. But boy, you got to finish the play. Finish is such an important word in any sport, anything you do. Once you get started, you got to complete the job.
And they're going to be just that shy, about the length of a football from a first down. McLaughlin signed as a big-time free agent a year ago. Hurt his back and was injured and really had an off year. This year, they say he is playing as well as any defensive lineman in the league.
Oh, I think he is. And Eric Hicks told us yesterday, talking to this partner there at the defensive end, that they were going to work together with what is called an ET or a TE stunt. E means end, T means tackles. Those two guys working together, crossing and trying to get up the field. That time it worked for McLaughlin.
Brian Milne is in with Reggie Brown and Amon Green. Second down and 1 from the Chiefs 13. It's Green breaking free, slashing inside the 5 and down to the 2. And 2 flags are down as the play stands now a gain of 12. And looked like it was against Kansas City.
Offsides defense, number 98. Lined up in the neutral zone. The penalty be declined. Result of the play is a first down.
And goal to go.
Watch Brian Mill now in the backfield. They got the big backs in here. They got two big backs coming straight up the left side. Mill, number 44. See the block? Along with Reggie Brown, two of them. All they do is they act like an offensive line in the backfield. The offensive line separates a little hole. They get through there and clean it up.
Amon Green and Reggie Brown are in there. First and goal from the 2. Play action by Kittner. He's being chased by Hicks, and Hicks throws to the end zone. Bobbled and incomplete. Double teamed the leaping Sean Dawkins. Now that's the guy. He is 6'4.5". He can tower above most corners in the league.
This is what it looks like if you're Sean Dawkins. Now you've run across the field. You don't catch that play action fake. Now you're looking back. This is about what you see. Now get up high. The ball's got to be thrown high in order to get over those defenders. Actually, the ball should have been caught. That was in Dawkins' hands.
Well, he caught the game winner last week against Denver in that come-from-behind Seattle win. And Kittner's going to call a timeout.
Get it right down here in the red zone.
Remember now that Seattle began this drive back on their 8th. They have worked all the way upfield. They're now second down and goal at the Kansas City drive by the Seahawks. They have it at the Kansas City 2, where it is second down and goal. 13th play of the John Kittner orchestrated drive. By the way, the Seahawks only have one rushing touchdown this year. It's Ricky Waters, and he is down at the 1. Touchdown, they call it now. Touchdown, Seattle. And Ricky Waters gets his second rushing touchdown of the season, and just the second, as I mentioned before, all season long for the Seahawks as a team.
The straight man blocking. Let's look at the movement by the offensive line on the right side, and then Ricky Waters with those shoulders low. You see right at the end how those shoulders went down. He was going to make sure no linebacker came over the top. Kansas City played that down with only Jerome Woods and John Hasty as defensive back. Everybody else were down linemen or linebackers in the game.
Extra point now by Peterson. Waters on that drive, 5 carries, 22 yards. Big plays on the drive. Waters a 25-yard reception, setting up his 2-yard touchdown. Wonderful drive just accomplished by the Seattle Seahawks. A Waters touchdown run on that drive. A Sean Dawkins 15-yard reception, which was a beauty that kept the drive alive. This is a big game for Kansas City.
Well, they have to win this ball game. They forget winning the AFC West if they don't win here at home. But you can feel the energy in this stadium right now, and on both sides of the ball, you can see the level of play. It's like a playoff game.
And here's the subsequent kickoff by Peterson. Vanover from the 7-yard line for Kansas City. Finds a crack. John Tate, their #1 pick, gives him a block, and struggling up to the 30-yard line is Vanover with the tackle made by James Logan.
It was 1988. I remember it well that Seattle last went to a playoff. They actually had to come to a little town in the Midwest called Cincinnati and play their first playoff ball game. And we had a couple of defensive backs that knew what they were doing in those days, and the guys were there was no call for this right here. There is no reason for this to become a tradition in the NFL.
It's the best part of the game.
Although I'll tell you, it was an exciting time, and playing on a winning team, coaching with a winning team, nothing like it.
From the 29, Kansas City, 1st and 10. Play action, good block by Parker. Here comes Gerbach, slings a pass down the middle, and it's caught by Derek Alexander. He gains 20 yards on that first down pass up to the 49. Tackle made by Michael Sinclair.
Alexander's just going to come up into the middle. And the play action holds the linebackers. You notice there's nothing underneath here. You don't see anybody because the linebackers bid on the play action. And Michael Sinclair, a defensive pass rushing in with a bad throwing muscle, recovers and makes the play about 20 yards downfield. That's why he's an all-pro.
Alexander has caught 3 passes today. 1st and 10, just shy of midfield. And it's Donnell Bennett. And Bennett breaking his way out of the grasp of one. Kerry Joseph brought him down after a gain of 7 yards. Down to the Seattle 43-yard line. Joseph again with the stop on Bennett. Thanksgiving Day at 1:30 Eastern Time, and finishing with the Flourish Saturday in prime time. Ice Wars returns to CBS Sports. You can say welcome home to many of your favorite Olympic stars. Featured will be men's and ladies technical programs starring Christy Yamaguchi, Brian Bottano, and more. That's coming up on CBS. 2nd down and 3. Straight running, bruising, and bursting his way down the middle is Bennett. It's a gain of 10 yards as Willie Williams and Chad Brown bring him down.
And sometimes the defensive line can be just too aggressive. Gunther Cunningham told us yesterday that Seattle uses a lot of run blocking defense. This time Cortez Kennedy right there was so fast up the field he actually ran by the ball carrier.
It is 1st and 10 from the Seahawk 35. Ronnie Johnson in motion. Good block by Parker. The pass and dropped on a cut by Risen at the 10-yard line. And that ball by Gerbach was right on the numbers.
It's a perfect pass. Risen could feel the pressure coming from the inside. Risen's coming from the top of your screen. You see the solid protection. Gunther Cunningham told us yesterday that he went to Andre Rison this week and said, do you realize just exactly what you've accomplished here? You haven't caught all the passes. You're not, 60 or 70 reception pace this year, but you played the role. You've been a mature football player. You kept your mouth shut, and you've done what we've asked you to do. And a lot of people respect you for that.
2nd down and 10 from the Seahawks 35. Seattle leads on a Waters touchdown run. Play action by Gerbach, being chased by Sinclair. Throws down the sideline and throws it away. Incomplete. Michael Sinclair. There wasn't anybody in sacking the quarterback, as Sam said last season. Number 2 since then. And he has 3 consecutive Pro Bowl berths under his belt.
He's got my vote again. You can watch him kind of move around a little bit. You can tell he is in pain, being very careful not to pull the growing muscle any more than he already has.
We talked to him early in the season, and of course he revealed in May he was a diabetic, and he is battling that as well.
I'll tell you, I don't see him coming out of the ball game. They said they were going to substitute Matt Labonte with him a lot. He has been playing almost every play.
On the 35, 3rd down and 10. Gerbach with Kennedy on his back, dumps it off to Sheehy, gets a block from Grunhard, gets a block from Shields, has a 1st down. Gonzalez laid the final block at the 20-yard line. Rashawn Sheehy, 14 yards on 3rd and 10.
Good play selection by Jimmy Ray right here. He got pressure from Michael Sinclair on the right side on the previous play. He throws the screen over his head on this play. And then look at the blocking downfield. Number 68 down the field, Will Shields making a block. That's offensive hustle. I mentioned this is like playoff tempo here. The atmosphere is. Both teams are playing all over the field.
First time in the last 9 tries that Sheehy has converted a 3rd down on 1st and 10. Here comes Bennett banging his way. Finally brought down. Chad Brown is there, a gain of 5. Brown is 94 with the tackle on Donnell Bennett. Where they've had a succession of halfbacks here in Kansas City, beginning with Marcus Allen, Greg Hill, Bam Morris, Rashawn Sheehy, Kimball Anders. Sam began the season as the halfback, but he tore an Achilles early in the year.
Well, Donnell Bennett is carrying he's their big back because Bam Morris is not active. He kept his eyes open that time to make the extra yardage.
From the 15, 2nd down and 5. It's Bennett again. Good block by Shields, and there goes Bennett like a rocket down to the 4-yard line. 1st and goal. It's a gain of 11. Tackle made by Logan.
Again, don't watch the football. Just watch the right guard, Will Shields, right here, pull around and make the block. Sometimes the most fun is happening up in front. Look at that hit right there, and there goes the ball carrier. Donnell Bennett's name will be in the paper tomorrow. It'll be Will Shields that made it happen.
Bennett has carried 8 times for 45 yards. Shields, 4 consecutive Pro Bowls. He was a 3rd-round pick out of Nebraska. Today starting game number 105 in a row. 1st and goal from the 4th. Bennett again, good block by Grunhard. And climbing to the 2-yard line on 1st and goal was the running back Bennett. Tackle made by Logan.
David Zott, Tim Grunhard on the left side had the double team up on Cortez Kennedy, opening up the holes. The offensive line of Kansas City is they look like they're playing inspired football. I think everybody realizes they have to win today.
They've got to win. Bennett, Richardson in the backfield. 2nd down and goal at the 2, 10th play of the drive. A lead block from Richardson. Bennett is stopped shy at the 1. Now it's 3rd down and goal.
Will Shields again. You're going to see Will Shields come around. You see him back up and then come up into the line. The blocking scheme calls for it, but if you get any kind of quick penetration by the defense, which Seattle gave them that time, there's nothing there. It's just a big pile.
What would you call 3rd and goal at the 1 if you were Gunther Cunningham?
I think you get out of the pocket, you give your quarterback a chance to throw the ball outside. Now, he's got everybody in tight. He likes to run, so I'm going to go with his instincts.
Tight end Gonzalez on the move. The handoff to Bennett. Got a great block from the guard on the left side, and the touchdown is there. Dave Zott led the way. The Chiefs recapture the lead on a drive authored by Janelle Bennett.
Gonzalez in motion, and you can see the difference, Kevin, between the offense of Kansas City against Tampa Bay a week ago and against the Seattle Seahawks. Tampa Bay has a better defense, but they're playing harder and they're finishing their blocks better today.
Stoyanovich tacks on another point, and with 5:03 to play before halftime, the Chiefs on a long drive, 11 plays, 71 yards, punch it in with Bennett. They lead it by 3.
That the doctors have a stethoscope underneath the jersey there of Donnell Bennett. He looks exhausted. They're making sure that he's still okay.
Scott Bentley's kickoff is taken by Fabian Bones inside the 20-yard line, and he's brought down by Mineski and by Carlton Gray, getting some help from Gracie Walker. Bennett still catching his breath. You would too if you led that last drive.
ってくるようなパターンになりますよね。ギャロウェイが入ったことによってやっぱり長いパスでできたドーギスもそういった意味では調子がいいと。だから
Gorgeous Arrowhead Stadium. Chiefs on top now. Coming up in the NASDAQ halftime report, Jim, Craig, Randy, and Jerry will get you caught up on all the scores, a lot of highlights, and some outstanding games today, including this one. But also New England at Miami, Buffalo at the Jets, Pittsburgh and Tennessee. On the 25, it's 1st and 10 for John Kitna. Brown is in motion out of the backfield. Screen pass set, a good block by Kendall, a good block by Gray, and here comes Ricky Waters up to the 38-yard line with the gain of 13. Tackle made by Donnie Edwards.
We just got word that Donnell Bennett has asthma and just got winded from all of the work on that last 11-play drive.
That's a steroid inhaler he takes, and what that does is it opens up the bronchial tubes, the breathing tubes, and he's suffered from this for a long time, and they're assisting him on the side. Hey, if you carried 7 times on an 11-play drive, you feel the same way.
Especially if you did it that well.
On the 37, 1st and 10, the dancing Ricky Waters, brought down by Chris Dishman. No gain.
Well, I'll tell you, Kansas City is playing solid team defense. And what I mean by team defense, everybody has an assignment. They've got an area on the field. Chris Dishman that time was the guy finishing it off. But everybody had him boxed off and had Ricky Waters dancing left to right. It was kind of like dancing waters. Yes, I said it. I'm sorry.
Waters.
It won't happen again.
No, thank you. 9 carries and 21 yards. 2nd down 11 from the 38. Kitna with time in the throw. Right in the seam, right in the crack. He finds Sean Dawkins. He threads a pass for 18 yards. Another Seattle 1st down to the Chiefs 44. Let's go to Jim Nance in New York for an update. Thank you, Jim. Miami tied with Indianapolis for 1st place. Miami losing to Buffalo and only had 101 yards on the ground and through the air last week. 1st and 10, Kitna crushed. Here comes Dan Williams. Here goes Kitna. Head on, he goes cracking into Warfield. He'll be close to a 1st down with the great scramble by the one-time undrafted quarterback out of Central Washington.
Look, and so the play ends right here. He's going to make the decision to go ahead and run the ball. Now watch him down the sideline. Mike Holmgren, at least tomorrow in film study, is going to say, John, when you get there, step out of bounds. Don't let Eric Warfield hit you like that. What if it had been Eric Hicks at about 280 pounds?
Kitna is now 10-4 as a Seattle starter. One-time World League MVP, and he played last year, most of the season, in back of Warren Moon and John Freese. And when Mike Holmgren came in, Moon was going to cost about $5 million against the cap, so we let him go. He wasn't interested in Freeze, and Holmgren felt that Kitna was his guy.
And he becomes the last in a long line of quarterbacks to play here at Arrowhead. Dave Craig, Jeff Kemp, Kelly Stouffer, Rick Meyer, John Freeze, Warren Moon, and now John Kitna.
Kitna, like his uniform number will tell you, is the 7th Seattle quarterback to play here in Arrowhead in the 90s. They get the first down to the Kansas City 34. And Kitna right to work. The blitz from Hasty picked up, grab in the end zone. He's got Dawkins wide open, incomplete pass. And Kitna knew it.
Jerome Woods, bit early. You see the motion right there, and nobody moves. That means it's a zone defense. You see the linebackers drop it straight back. Pump fake, froze Jerome Woods, number 21. And behind everybody, Sean Dawkins and Kitna, you're exactly right. Boy, you know you have it, and when you let it go and you feel it fly, no way to bring it back.
Second down and 10 from the Kansas City 34. It's 10-7 Chiefs. Kitna, short drop, quick throw, caught by leaping Mike Pritchard. The ex-Falcon, ex-Bronco, and a fourth-year Seahawk picks up 12, tackled by James Hasty. It's a first down.
You can feel Mike Holmgren's play selection here. Long setup, late throw on the last play, realizing there might be pressure. He threw the quick pass this time to the left side. Mike Holmgren likes to get 5 guys out when he can. It's part of what's called that West Coast offense. Get as many receivers out, control everybody underneath, throw the ball quick, get out of the pocket on the next snap, and it's time, call timeout if you're not ready to go.
We've hit the 2-minute warning. Seattle on the move again. The first place Seahawks trail by 3.
スポーツは ESPN12 月のラインナップ。まずは NCAA アメリカンフットボール。年末年始には数あるボールゲームの中からセレクトした2試合をスペシャルでオンエア。そしてアジアン X ゲーム。11月にタイのプーケット島で開催された熱戦の模様を6日連続でお送りします。その他サッカーをはじめとするレギュラー番組もお見逃しなく。なお加入に関するお問い合わせは 0354743344 まで。抜け毛薄毛髪の悩みはリーグ21。言いたいことはいろいろあるけど全ては言えない。まずは電話悩み無料。自分の髪はリーグ21。あなたの髪はリーグ21。髪悩んでないでリーグ21に任せなよ。It's alright。リーグ21。ババラヘラズンバラババヘラメラズンバラヘラズンバラヘラズンバラババヘラメラヤゴヘラワバラ
Galloway's been quiet today.
So far he's been shut out. 2 balls thrown his way, but no receptions.
Will be at the top of your screen. First down and 10, 2-minute warning, 7th play of the Seattle drive.
This is a pass checkoff right here. Those hand signals are telling everybody the entire play.
It's Kitna, great time to throw, and that is dropped by a slashing Mike Pritchard down to the 10-yard line. Incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
It looks like Kitna's saying, actually, look, that makes the signal like I'm not hearing anything. I think what he's doing, though, he's telling everybody the pattern. Those are slant patterns, as it turns out. We'll see if he does that signal later in the ball game and we get the same play. A quick throw to the inside, and what he read was a defense was going to be a zone defense where he could throw the ball in between the zone.
On the Kansas City 22, second down and 10.
There's the same signal. This may be a dummy.
Back to pass, same play, almost caught, incomplete, 10-yard line, looking for Sean Dawkins.
Boy, that is dangerous for a quarterback to get the same signal 2 plays in a row. You would think the defense would be jumping on it. Many times the quarterback, though, the second time he does it, he goes in the huddle and says, I'm going to dummy that signal on the next snap and maybe make the move to the inside and then break back to the outside. That's why I thought it might have been a dummy call, but he went right to it 2 plays in a row. That's risky business.
This is the 4th third down they faced. They're 3 and 3. There's a blitz. Their third down's 10 and longer. Here's the pass on 3rd and 10. Ricky Waters, they got a block on McLaughlin. He breaks a tackle going into the end zone for a touchdown. Chris Dishman couldn't get him, and Waters is in for the 2nd time today.
Perfect call against the blitz because everybody's coming away. You see the blitz are coming from this side right here. Watch everybody. That was Jerome Woods running by him, and then the ball's laid over the top. You want them to rush you when you're throwing the screen like that. There's nobody left to recover and chase from and have the angle on catching the receiver. And unfortunately for Kansas City, they were blitzing from the exact same side they were throwing the screen.
Well, they got a great block on McLaughlin. Dishman fanned on the tackle, and Waters only his 2nd touchdown receiving since 1995 puts the Seahawks on. An emotional game, you go to an emotional player, and that's exactly what Ricky Waters is. He's run in a touchdown, he's caught a touchdown pass, and he's put Seattle on top 14-10.
Ricky Waters has caught Jim Taylor. He's passed Larry Zonka and Roger Craig and Herschel Walker and Joe Perry for rushing yards over a career.
A drive. Here's Todd Peterson to kick off for Seattle from the 30-yard line, and Tamarick Van over his deep back. It's short. It'll be caught by Donnell Bennett. And he got a block, and there goes Bennett hurdling defenders and up to the 40-yard line. A 25-yard return tackled by Willie Williams. He's doing it all.
Looks good to me.
Monday on CBS, it's an all-new night of comedy, beginning with The King of Queens, starring Kevin James.
The same shoes as Raymond does, and everybody loves Raymond.
First down and 10. Kerbach, great time, dumps it across the middle. It's caught by Sheehy. Fumble on the play, and Seattle has grabbed it. There was no whistle. The Seahawks get it back, and in great field position. It's Kansas City's first turnover today. Darrell Williams jumped on the ball, and the Chiefs now have fumbled 3 times in 2 games after fumbling once in the first 7.
And how fast things change. Kansas City was ahead 10-7 just a moment ago. Seattle goes down and scores, and then strips Rashawn Shee of the ball right there. It's Chad Brown stripping of the ball, coming loose. Seahawks everywhere. When you've got a hustling defense, as Seattle and Kansas City are, you're always around the ball when it comes loose like that. Now, instead of going in at halftime down 10-7, Seattle has a chance, if they can get this drive with plenty of time left, a minute and a half, to go in 21-10.
Seattle has 2 timeouts. Best beginning field position from the Kansas City 49. Play action. And here comes Kitna being tackled. He fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by Marcus Patton. Second Seattle turnover today.
I'll trump your trump.
Touche.
This is why Kansas City leads the league in the turnover ratio. They came in at +17. They're always around the ball, and they're always going for it. That was not an accident that the ball happened to be, that the tackler happens to hit, James Logan happens to hit, or I guess it was Derek Brown, or Derek.
That's a pretty revealing statistic there.
Yeah. And notice the 2 guys that have fumbled more than he are both young players.
On the 45, Kansas City back, 1st and 10, dumping it across the middle. Riddick Parker got a hand on it and knocked it down. Riddick Parker with the play. Parker standing 6'3", and he got in the way of the pass. 2nd down and 10 upcoming.
Sometimes right now, this is Parker right here. Now watch him. He's going to step up, and then he's not getting penetration. So
from the 45. 1:18 to play here in the first half. Good block by Sutton Parker. Here comes Michael Sinclair, and the pass is incomplete. Victor Riley, the starting right tackle, is having a horrible time controlling Sinclair. He had a tough time last week against Chidi Ahanatu of Tampa Bay.
From the Seattle Seahawks.
Kansas City with 1 timeout, 3rd down and 10 from the 45. Conventional 3-man rush. Riley does a good job on Sinclair. The pass. It's reeled in. What a catch by Gonzalez. He's down at the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 15 yards. Darrell Williams, the tackle of Gonzalez, a former college basketball player at Cal, went up for the rebound, and with his NBA body, he brought it down. Timeout taken, Kansas City. They're out of timeouts, and they trail by 4. Tight end Tony Gonzalez, who's caught 3 passes in this first half, come up with a circus catch, and he's got him at the Seattle 40.
Leading the team in receptions. Also has 4 touchdowns this year. This leads the team. He's a big guy. He told us yesterday he likes to play out away from the tight end position because he can read the defense and he doesn't get chucked at the line as much.
Gerback throws it darts. Nice knockdown by Sean Springs. No yellow on the field. They were going for Derek Alexander.
Not plays that you can throw an appeal flag or inside 2 minutes he'd come from upstairs.
Good point. 2nd down and 10 from the Seahawk 40. Short drop. There's the pass catch. There goes a flag. The pass is caught at the 30-yard line, and Andre Rison.
From the last play. That's the coach talking.
Holding on the defense. Number 24. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
30, 1st down and 10 for Kansas City, trailing by 4. Good block by Parker. There's the pass to Sheehy in the open field, and he bursts down to the 23-yard line, picking up 7. Tackled by former K-State Wildcat Chris Canning. It's now 2nd down and 3. Chiefs are out of timeouts. It'll now be 3rd down and 3, and Gerback had no other choice but to spike the ball. Cunningham, you just saw here, a college linebacker and kicker at the University of Oregon. Here's 3rd and 3 from the 23. Outside he goes. Off by Alexander, shoved out of bounds by Canning, and he's got the first down to the 18-yard line on a crucial gain of 5. And even more important, he stops the clock.
Nice play, exactly what you want. Alexander's in the slot. He's just going to go out. Chris
catches today, 2 on 3rd down. On the 18 of Seattle, 1st and 10. Chiefs with no timeouts. They're back to the sideline, caught by Joe Horn. He twists and turns his way. Canny makes the tackle. He didn't get out of bounds. The Chiefs without a timeout. He's down to the 12. The clock ticking down at 13. 12. They'll spike it again with 10 seconds left on the 2nd quarter clock. How would you assess this play calling and time management down the stretch?
Well, the play calling's fine, and time management was okay if Joe Horn just runs out of bounds. Joe Horn was on the radio.
Got him in trouble. 3rd and 4. Go back. Looking, and it's incomplete. Sean Springs was all over Derek Alexander, and Kansas City can do no better than go for 3, and much to the credit of Seattle's defense for holding the Chiefs back.
Listen, we're looking at 2 good football teams playing at the top of their game. With the players they have going and with the systems and with the momentum they've...
29-yard try by Stoyanovich. It's good. The Chiefs creep closer, but it is not what they were looking for. It's 14-13 Seattle with 2 seconds remaining in the half.
Well, Seattle is playing terrific football right now.
Scott Bentley to kick off. It's on the ground. They keep it away, and it's picked up by Kerry Joseph, who is a reserve defensive back, and he moves it to the 37, which will take us to halftime. So 2 touchdowns by Ricky Waters for Coach Mike Holmgren, and first place Seattle leads in raucous Kansas City Arrowhead Stadium 14-13. Seahawks lead the Kansas City Chiefs 14-13 with Sam White, Kevin Harlan here in Kansas City. We have seen a lot of variations on the defensive line for Seattle, some 3-4, some 4-3.
Well, they come into this ball game with some injuries. Michael Sinclair playing hurt. Sam Adams didn't make the trip. They only have 4 active linebackers. But you see the 4 down linemen. They will move out of that to 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers. That'll help give Michael Sinclair a little bit of a break. We saw a little bit in the first half. Could see more of it as the game wears on for the Seattle Seahawks. As you see some of the scoring there, that was Ricky Waters going in. Kansas City, Donnell Bennett pile driving in for his 2-yard after an 11-play drive, 2-yard touchdown run, and then the screen play right over the head of the rush.
And the kickoff to start our second half. It's Tamarick Vanover getting a nice block and jetting up to the 25-yard line, where he is brought down. Fabian Bones with the tackle and some of the numbers.
And turnovers are always important. Both teams are very good at not turning it over more than their opponent does. Other than that, a fairly balanced ball game, and the score reflects it. Time of possession going to Kansas City, which is their norm here at home. But they'll need to score more points with that time of possession to beat a tough Seattle team this afternoon.
1st and 10, handoff to Sheehy. Up to the 27 for a gain of 2. And tackled on the play by Logan.
Now, Kansas City a week ago, and talking to Gunther Cunningham, they have in their arsenal to spread this offensive unit out, to take their tight end Gonzalez and use him almost like a wide receiver, get them all spread out. So when they want to change it, and that's what we're seeing right now, a little bit more wide open look, when they're ready to do it, they can give Seattle another look.
2nd down and 8, down the sidelines, floating one to Alexander, coverage by Springs, incomplete pass.
Alexander is just testing Sean Springs. Remember, right before the end of the half, Sean Springs really got away with an interference call and then got called for it on the very next play. But he's been playing soft, and as he creeps up to the line of scrimmage, when I say soft, he's been laying off just a little bit, plays very tough defense. But as he moves on up, that's when you want to go by it.
He's only defended 2 passes today.
Well, that's because they throw away from him. He's a very good defender, and you don't throw at the good ones.
On the 27, 3rd down and 8. Back flag is thrown. Good block by Riley, knocking Sinclair out. Here comes Philip Daniels. There goes the pass to Alexander. Belted out of bounds by Darrell Williams. A flag is down. Gain of 17 on the play. Up to the 44. Let's see what that penalty flag is all about from Jeff Triplett's crew.
Offside defense, number 70, lined up in the neutral zone. The penalty is declined. Result of the play is a 1st down.
Straight drop in. And watch the offensive line giving protection right here. Sheehy gives them a look up the middle and then rolls to the right. This is not the design of the play to be the first choice. But Derek Alexander coming left or right. When this quarterback scrambles to the right, all the receivers want to move in the same direction.
Gerback has hit 7 different receivers from the 44. 1st and 10. Great time for Gerback down the sideline. Knocked away. Double coverage with Andre Rison. Bellamy was in the vicinity, floating over from his safety position. Willie Williams was on the corner.
I'm not sure if Andre Rison could have got it, but Jay Bellamy not only deflects the ball away, but watch what he does to his teammates on the sideline. Wham! Just cleans them out. That's what you get for standing inside that 6 foot. That white line there along the side is 6 feet. You're supposed to be well behind it.
2nd down, 10 from the 44. And off to Sheehy. Slithering through and diving inside Seattle territory. He goes to the 48, picks up 8 yards on the play. Logan with the tackle.
James Logan right here makes the saving tackle. Now she's coming off the right side. I circled the wrong guy. Logan's coming right there. Comes off the right side and rarely gets a finger on him. Otherwise, Sheehy is gone. Nobody was going to catch him from behind. Seattle only has 4 active linebackers in the ballgame today. They come in with injuries to Deshaun Miles and Darren Smith.
3rd down and 2 from the 48. Chiefs have gone 7 of 10 on 3rd down. Janelle Bennett stacked up, brought down, and tackled. Chad Brown finishes him off. Cortez Kennedy plugged the gap.
And the crowd is going to want Gunther Cunningham to go for it here, but it is not the smart thing to do, and he's not going to take the bait. It's 4th down and short. But if you give the ball up to a team that's been moving on you the last couple of series in midfield, you may just hand them the momentum for the rest of the half.
Daniel Pope will punt. Charles Jordan is deep back. Charlie Rogers inactive today. They felt Jordan could do more on special teams for the Seahawks. High punt. And it'll be fair caught at the 20-yard line. Even though Warfield didn't give him a lot of room to catch it, and finally a late flag Warfield has an interception today, but coming off a horrible game last week at Tampa and just picks up a penalty right there.
The official is absolutely right. You've got to give him the opportunity to make a clean catch. And even though Warfield wasn't trying to, it wasn't a premeditated error, he was in the wrong place.
Fair catch interference on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
You've got to give him a couple yards.
Just a clean chance to make the catch, and watch Warfield. He is just closing in the way.
Timeout.
取る前に当たってたから邪魔したのでキックキャッチにインターフェレンスですからね。接触があったから15やの。
なるほどなるほど。
あったからというかごめんなさい。
What's this? Oh. Well, we apologize. There was a play on 1st and 10 where John Kittner was going back from his own 35, and Reggie Tongue broke up a pass intended for Derek Mays. 2nd down and 10 upcoming.
Watch Reggie Tongue right there. He's going to be the ultimate defender. Kittner rolling to his right. Number 25 Tongue coming in, almost making the interception. Seattle breaks the huddle a little sooner than we thought. Reggie Tongue had a terrific game last week, stripping the ball away from Tampa Bay, helping create 6 turnovers last week.
Well, 3 forced fumbles, 2nd down and 10. From the 35, Kittner throws a pass, caught by Galloway, then he's caught from behind by Reggie Tongue. It's a gain of 18 yards on Galloway's first catch of the day.
Galloway's just going to come up and make an inside move. A little hesitation, freezes the defender to the outside, and as he turns to the inside, Kittner throws a rifle shot. John Kittner is a young quarterback, a lot to learn, and one of the things that he said was a little bit puzzling with the return of Joey Galloway was measuring his speed. But when a guy turns in and settles down like that, it's not a factor.
On the Kansas City 47, 1st and 10 as they send Ricky Waters down the middle, and he gets to the 45. Picking up 2 yards on the play. The middle of that line got him, led by middle linebacker Marv Fitzpatrick. Weather is getting colder, but the divisional races are heating up. Get a complete, comprehensive review of every team as they battle for playoff positions. Just click on to NFL at cbs.sportsline.com. 2nd down and 8 from the Chiefs 45. Seattle leading 14-13 on 2 Ricky Waters touchdowns. Fourier on the move. Waters with the block from the pulling Pete Kendall, slashing his way inside the 35 to the Kansas City 32, picking up 12. Donnie Edwards makes the tackle.
Watch Pete Kendall, the left guard, come around the left side. Now he's going to pull and lead the block. This is just another case of where the offensive lineman in this ball game on both sides of the ball. Look at that solid, just stays with the man well down the field. The offensive line has created the offense that's happened today. Good pass protection and real solid run block.
I love watching Waters run.
He follows the blocker. You know, good runners can slow down and speed up and give those blockers a chance to do their job.
On the Chiefs 32, 1st and 10 for Seattle.
It's another audible.
Out of the pocket, good block by Brown. Here comes Edwards. There goes the pass. And Kittner got it away. They were blitzing the outside linebacker, Donnie Edwards.
Donnie Edwards made a clean tackle without roughing the quarterback. Donnie Edwards is going to be coming from the outside. Now Kittner's going to go to the right. As he rolls out, Edwards comes out of your screen to the right side. Now watch his approach. Now after this, he's going to look at the official and say, now Mr. Ref, I didn't rough this guy. I was okay. The official standing right there behind him, making sure.
Kittner has not been sacked today.
They protect their quarterback. Both these teams do a good job protecting the quarterback. Kittner had a lot of sacks early in the year, but had 12 of them in the first 2 games and has only had 12 since then.
Whoa. 2nd down and 10 from the 32, and a lot of people were jumping off sides. Fourier was moving, McLaughlin was moving. Now they decide if Kansas City was induced.
Well, either way they call this, it's going to re-energize this crowd on the next snap, I can tell you. This is when Kansas City needs that home field advantage, when the Seattle Seahawks are making a drive like this early in the 2nd half to take a more commanding lead.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 75 in the defense. 5-yard penalty remains 3rd down.
You know, Eric Hicks told us yesterday he was going to watch Chester McLaughlin and try to look through it over at the guard, Brian Habib. and that's how he was going to move on the ball. Eric Hicks is a defensive end. McLaughlin, though, he said sometimes he is so quick off the ball that he'll pull me off sides with it because he anticipates the step. That time too fast.
Yet, Sam, just the 4th Kansas City penalty today.
This is a well-played ball game. I don't think anybody watching this ball game is seeing a goat. Everybody's playing hard, playing well. Guys like Michael Sinclair for Seattle playing hurt. Kansas City playing beautiful team defense up to this point.
2nd down 5 from the 28. Quick pass outside, looking for a Tulu Mealy. His backup tight end, and John Kitna is not happy with the route run by Mealy.
Well, he was supposed to just run what's called, whatever you just said. I'm sure you meant well there, Kevin.
Well, that makes sense.
He took Tulu Mealy, tried to take Jerome Woods out, who is a safety, and make him cover one-on-one to the outside and get Mealy the ball quick and then go one-on-one with him with nobody around. Problem was they didn't get him the ball.
Now 3rd down and 5 from the 27. 6th play of this drive as Kitna sets. There goes a flag, and the pass thrown outside and incomplete, looking for Derek Mays. Flag is down.
And it's going to be called against Kansas City for offsides.
Offside defense, number 91. 5-yard penalty. Result of the penalty is a 1st down.
Leslie O'Neal with a huge penalty on the Chiefs.
How about this? The Seattle Seahawks opponents are penalized more than any other opponent in the National Football League. They've been penalized 86 times coming into this ball game. Seattle seems to create mistakes by their opponents, and it's showing up here today. Sometimes you just line up. You try to crowd the line of scrimmage, and that's what Leslie O'Neal did that time. Try to crowd it, and you line up in the neutral zone.
This drive began with the penalty on the punt by the Chiefs and Eric Warfield. We've had 2 defensive penalties on the Chiefs on this drive. From the 23, 1st and 10. Outside Waters spinning and twirling and corkscrewing inside the 20. It's a gain of 4. Marcus Patton makes the tackle along with Chris Dishman.
Chris Dishman is lined up outside now, right up here. He's going to get blocked one-on-one, and then he's going to shed the blocker and come up and make the play. Here he is right here. He gets rid of the blocker and comes up and makes the play. He actually doesn't finish the tackle, but he's the one that starts the breakdown.
Dishman was a Pro Bowler in '97, fell off last year. Washington let him go. They drafted Champ Bailey. Dishman hired a personal trainer this offseason. I think he's better than ever. 2nd down 6. The pump fake for Kitna. Wide open is Waters, incomplete in the end zone. Derek Thomas had fallen off on the coverage. That's an incomplete pass, and one that Waters is going to want back.
Now Waters is going to come out and then up the sideline. Derek Thomas, number 58, is trying to cover him. The pump fake may have fooled him a little bit, but watch the little bit of a short arm. I think Ricky Waters could have gotten there, but he just misjudges the flight of the ball. Because all he had to do was change his angle of attack to get to the ball.
Well, he's already caught a touchdown pass today, his 1st since '95. It's 3rd and a long 6, 9th play of the drive. Good block by Williams. Outside Waters drops another one. 2 consecutive drops by Waters. Seattle will have to settle for 3. Let's check in with Jim Nance. Thank you, Jim. Miami comes in at 7-2. New England 6-3 in that one. And here is Todd Peterson, who has kicked 11 consecutive field goals. Here is a 38-yard try. Jeff Beagle's on the hold. Rodenhauser on the snap. It's 12 in a row for Peterson, a guy who is the picture of determination. He tried out with 13 teams in 2 years before sticking with Seattle. And he annexes the Seahawk lead, 17-13.
全米で23年間にわたり放映された伝説の音楽バラエティーエド・サリバンショー。その番組に生出演した世界のスーパースターたちの貴重なライブパフォーマンスを全10巻に収めた幻の音楽ビデオエド・サリバンショーミュージック・アンソロジー。世界に先駆けついに日本で先行発売されました。
エド・サリバン賞には本当すごいアーティストたちが出演していたんですよ。
ビートルズがアメリカでテレビに初出演したのもこの番組。全米最高視聴率 72% を記録し、放送が終了した頃にはすでにアメリカ中がビートルズの虜になっていたといいます。
エルビス、ストーンズ、スティービー、みんなこの番組をきっかけにビッグになっていったんですよね。あ、子供の頃のマイケル・ジャクソン。
ジャクソン5っていう兄弟5人のアイドルグループでデビューしたことは案外知られてないかもね。
今は亡き美しいカレンの歌声。
もう生で聴くことができないから、そういう意味でもこのビデオは貴重だよね。
当時を知らない私たちの世代でもいろんな発見ができます。
20世紀を震撼させたロック、ポップス、R&B のスーパーライブパフォーマンスを厳選したまさに永久保存版。100人の弁護士が2年がかりで全アーティスト側と交渉し、ようやくビデオ化が実現。この音楽映像遺産といえる全10巻がなんと38,000円でお求めいただけるんです。
しかも通信販売のみの特典として収録曲ガイドブック、オフィシャル収納バッグ、当時のファッションや日本のヒット曲などを掲載したトレンドブックオールド&ニュー。さらに60年代アメリカの音楽シーンを当時の映像とエピソードを交えて紹介したビデオ、ロックンロールレボリューションも合わせてお届けします。
エド・サリバン賞ミュージックアンソロディ38,000円。
お申し込みはフリーダイヤル 0120-87-4422。 今すぐお電話ください。
話題のフリー E メールジャパン。
Kevin Arlen, Sam White here in Kansas City. A field goal at 38 yards moments ago by Todd Peterson. 17-13, Seahawks on top, and we saw a frustrated John Kitna go to the sideline.
He and Mike Holmgren had a little bit of an exchange. Ricky Waters dropped two passes there. One, the sun was right in his eyes. I'll give him an excuse for that one. The one in the end zone, I think he should have had.
Here's Vanover from the 2-yard line for the Chiefs. And the kickoff problems continue. The return problems for the Chiefs continue. Tackle made by James Logan. The Chiefs will get it back down midway through the third.
本当思うんですよね。
これですね。
ただまあこのシリーズジョン・キトナーの気持ちがものすごく高ぶってますから、ミリへのパス失敗のあたりから。
Sam, it's been a game of missed opportunities. We just saw the drop, possible touchdown reception by Waters, and the Chiefs had 3 possessions in the first half inside the 20. They had to settle for field goals on 2 of those 3 possessions.
It is a game of opportunities. The Chiefs last week had trouble in Tampa Bay, and they continue this week inside the red zone.
Almost intercepted by Chad Brown on the pass by Gerback as he was leveled. Incomplete pass. Boy, that could have turned this game around. It's 2nd down and 10.
Chad Brown is not rushing now. He's lined up here on the outside. He has been all over the field. See him get one hit. Now he stops and reaches up. Same thing has happened on both sides of the ball. If you don't get to that quarterback quick, try to react and see if you can't knock down the short throw.
23-yard line, 2nd down and 10. Hand off to Richardson, who tried to burst and couldn't go any place. Getting to Lamar King, the rookie from Saginaw Valley State, makes the tackle. They love this kid's athletic ability, and that's why they drafted him in the 1st round.
Showed up right there.
Well, on Thursday, it's a special Thanksgiving Day edition of the NFL Today at 3:30 Eastern. Join Jim and the gang for all the latest NFL news, plus the story of Miami's head coach Jimmy Johnson's return to Dallas. The Dolphins take on the Cowboys, all starting Thanksgiving Day, 3:30 Eastern. 3rd down and 8, pass caught by Gonzalez, but short of the 1st down. It takes an avalanche of Seahawks to get him. He's still about a yard shy. So now, they're faced with 4th down, and let's see where they spot it, because that will determine.
I think Kansas City's just asking for the measurement. Does not look like they're even close to making the 1st down from where we are. But they have the right to ask for it. And Gunther Cunningham will punt this football. Mike Stock, you see, the special teams coach. Mike was with me in Cincinnati. Outstanding coach. But if you don't get the 1st down right here, trailing by 4 at home, you go ahead and punt it, put your defense back on the field. Boy, it's closer than we thought. Still not enough.
Not a football's length away.
Yep. Punt the ball. Don't listen to the crowd. Remember, this is Gunther Cunningham's 1st turn at the helm. He was an assistant with Marty Schottenheimer and been in this league a long time. But when you're having to make those tough decisions, you got to do what you think is right and stick with it. Don't let the emotions of the crowd or it's not a popular vote.
Daniel Pope will punt. Led the Southeast Conference in punting last year. Deep back Charles Jordan, who did not play football for 4 years after just 1 season of college football, signed by the Los Angeles Raiders, the then Los Angeles Raiders, at a tryout camp in suburban LA.
Charlie Rogers and Charles Jordan have shared those duties this year. This week it's Jordan's turn.
Almost blocked. The punt is away. Merton Hanks just about got it. Here comes Jordan, the ex-Dolphin, ex-Green Bay Packer, and Richardson brings him down at the 32. Make it the 42 and a punt of 39 yards. A return of 13. Look how close Merton Hanks came here. Seattle by 4.
ですからフラグなしですか。
ノーフラグですね。
なるほど。プレッシャーだけ与えたということですね。しかしいいフィールドポジションからシーホークスの攻撃。
Seahawks on top. Ricky Waters with 2 touchdowns, 17-13. What do you think of the Seahawks right now? They lead the AFC West. The win today would put away Kansas City.
Well, they've got everything in their hands. I think they're going to get the ball right back to Ricky Waters, who had 2 drop passes in the last drive. He's too important to them. They're not going to shy away from him.
Chased by Derek Thomas. The pass down the sideline for Joey Galloway on 1st and 10 is incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Kittner now 1 of his first 7 throwing in the second half here.
You know, he's 1 for 7. The stat doesn't look good, but he's moving the football. He's making smart decisions down the field. That was a throwaway. That's one of those 6 that he didn't complete. But he's playing smart football, which is what Mike Holmgren wants him to do. Don't take a chance and give the opponent field position with a turnover, especially against a team that is so opportunistic like the Kansas City Chiefs.
Number 1 in the giveaway takeaway, as we talked about before. 2nd down and 10 from the 42. Play action by Kittner, throwing incomplete, looking for Sean Dawkins, crossing at about the 45 and covered on the play by Chris Dishman.
That's the first time I have seen John Kittner throw into coverage. Chris Dishman was all over the receiver, and it looked like Kittner got a little bit of those nervous feet. Remember, he came off the sideline on the last drive. Waters had dropped a couple of passes on him. He was visibly upset. Mike Holmgren grabbed him, tried to calm him down a little bit. He went through this when Brett Favre was beginning his career, and he's doing the same kind of educating with Kittner now.
3rd down and 10 from the 42. Derek Thomas is offsides. Here's Kittner, brought down. Flags all over the field. It looked like Thomas jumped early on the near side.
They're going to call it on Thomas, and they tried to stop the play because there is a safety factor there. Once you have gotten past the blocker, you can get to that quarterback.
Offside defense, number 58. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Right here, just watch him jump. He's way ahead of everybody else. Nobody's moving. The ball hasn't come up. But that's when the whistle started to blow right there. Walter Jones, the left tackle, had no chance to make a block. If Walter Jones tries to move, they could call it on him. It would be a judgment call by the official. Normally a move like that, though, it's a defensive penalty.
6 Kansas City penalties, 4 on their defense today.
Unusual for the Chiefs. It's just showing reflects aggressive play. All the penalties have been aggressive ones.
3rd down and 5 from the 47.
There's a blitz.
Woods, here he comes. There goes Kittner. Fourier with the block. The pass by Kittner is caught by Dawkins. At the 30-yard line, a gain of 22, tackled by Dishman. He beat him again. Dawkins has been crushed today for Seattle.
Well, John Kittner just got not nervous feet, but patient feet. Watch how long John Kittner. Here's a rush coming from this side right here. Is getting the push. He moves right around from it, gets himself a throwing lane, and a perfect strike.
It was.
You know, when you're throwing that far down the field, you try to throw it a little bit low because it's hard for the defender to reach. He doesn't have the same range.
Dawkins 4 catches, 2 on 3rd downs today. Now from the Chiefs 30, Seattle 1st and 10. Ricky Waters with the pulling Pete Kendall. He has a block on Hasty. And they barge down inside the 25 to the 23 on a gain of 7.
The offensive line on both sides of the ball have done such a good job today. Pete Kendall this time was pulling and giving Ricky Waters a chance to measure his blocker. Ricky Waters, we said it earlier, is a smart runner. He's an experienced runner, and he doesn't get ahead of his blocker. Sometimes a young runner will actually outrun the blocker, get in front of him. Of course, the blocker then is no factor.
13 carries, 45 yards today for Waters. Amon Green is in. 2nd down and 3. Hand off to Green, and he fumbles the ball, and he jumped on it and gobbled it back up again. Wow.
Now here's how important that play is. That leaves them in a third down situation. The guard's going to pull. The ball is just mishandled right here. Never quite made the exchange. Seattle jumps back on it, but it leaves them in a third down and long. Because of this fumble right here, they're in a third and long. If they don't make the first down right here and go for the field goal, it gives them a 7-point lead. Big difference in that 7-point lead versus a drive on down for a touchdown, putting Kansas City in a 2-touchdown deficit.
It's 3rd and 5 for Seattle at the Kansas City 25. Flag is thrown, handoff to Waters. They blow it dead.
I don't think they're going to count the play. I believe it was offensive.
Delay of game, offense. Number 7, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Boy, that makes the sideline of Seattle, man. Mike Holmgren is right back to business, but the rest of the guys are upset. 3rd penalty, all on defense for
Seattle.
For Seattle. Seattle. Just move my lips if I get stuck like that again. Now it's 3rd down and 10, even a more dangerous situation, because if they lose any more, they'll knock themselves out of the field goal range. Timeout, Seattle. They want to talk about this one and find out the best play.
It's a crucial play coming up. Seahawks lead at 17-13.
して、で、タッチダウンにつなげていくのと、で、ダメで、フィールドゴールになりますけども、フィールドゴールだったら。
Seattle just called a timeout. 5:15 to play here in the 3rd. Crucial play coming up, 3rd and about 10.
Mike Holmgren talked over with Pete Rodriguez. What'd he do? This is when Joey Galloway pays dividends. He spreads everybody out. If he doesn't get the ball, he'll open up other receivers.
3rd and 10. Here comes the rush. Good time for Kitna to throw. Dropped by Galloway. He wouldn't have had enough for a first down. He had to get to the 20. He had positioned himself at the 22. Hasty was defending. Seattle has dropped 3 today.
Galloway's just going to freeze for a moment. This is called a China pattern in terminology. Most football teams call it. Right in his hands. You got to catch those. Mike Holmgren's right. You know, you can train, you can drill, and you can be in shape. But when you come back in, you put the uniform on, and you're making contact. People are hitting you. It's a different game. Galloway held out for over 100 days, and he's still trying to get back into the flow of the game. He played in only 22 snaps last week. They were going to try to get him another 10 in addition to that this week. Probably pretty much on course for that. But now, just prior to that play, Mike Holmgren went over to Pete Rodriguez, the special teams coach, and had a discussion about where is the line? Where can we go for the field goal? How close do we have to be? And when should we punt the football? So this 4th down play has been anticipated. There's Rodriguez.
Well, they just threw a penalty flag, and there's a special teams delay of game.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Maybe on purpose.
On purpose. They were going to punt the football. They wanted to give the punter,
Jeff Fiegels,
a little bit more room to punt the football, to hang it up in the air.
Peterson has kicked one this year from as far away as 51 yards, but they were out of his range.
Well, the problem is if you don't make it, you give such good field position to the Kansas City Chiefs, so they don't want to do that. They're now in a defensive battle. Hold on to that lead into the 4th quarter when this crowd becomes an even bigger factor.
Vanover is back, drifting at the 10. Jeff Fiegels will punt it. High, hanging, fair caught at about the 7. 27-yard punt. Fiegels did his job.
Absolutely.
Wednesday on CBS, Celine Dion performs her greatest hits in a sensational new special with guest stars Gloria Estefan, NSYNC, and an incredible duet with Frank Sinatra. Celine Dion all the way, Wednesday on CBS.
Do not call me on Wednesday night because I'm going to be busy, okay?
How about this? I won't call you any night.
That one's... Take your hands off. Okay.
1st and 10 from the 8-yard line. Here comes Janelle Bennett, cracked and brought down by Simmons and Sinclair. And King, a loss of 4 as Kansas City is marooned deep in their own zone.
Michael Sinclair coming up the field. He gets penetration so quick. There is nobody getting outside of him. Look at his one arm, and here comes the pursuit from the inside. Like a little holding back from the inside as well.
Victor Riley's having a tough day.
He is all day long.
2nd down and 14. to Bennett. And the throw ricochets off the palms of Derek Alexander. Incomplete. 3rd and 14.
Play action fake. Now Derek Alexander's just going to go right down the middle. Darrell Williams, though, is ready with number 33. When the ball is thrown up high like that, he can't protect the ball to hold it. Play action, pressure. He steps up like he's supposed to. You see right there at the very end of it, Lamar King, who's had another good solid ball game. We mentioned his name a lot, a rookie. Saginaw Valley.
Now 3rd and 14 from the 5. 4 wide receivers deployed.
There's a blitz.
It's knocked down by Chad Brown. Second time he has done that today. Brown streaming through the porous Kansas City offensive line. Chad Brown with another sensational play on Gerbach.
Well, they brought one too many guys to block from the right side. Here's Chad Brown right here. They're bringing also the outside rusher. Brown's going to be the one that gets there. You see him just a full all-out rush, hands up. Not enough time to get the loft on the ball. Kansas City, or Seattle, had the better strategy on that play.
So after the second consecutive 3 and out, Pope to punt. He gets off a rocket. Charles Jordan backpedaling to the 43-yard line. He gets away from 10. He breaks another tackle of the Chiefs special teams performer Minuski, and then finally he's brought down by Lonnie Johnson. 15-yard return after the 52-yard punt by Pope. Friday on CBS, the government.
You're backed up like that in punting. You don't get good coverage, and you end up with field position for the opponent. Audible again. Kittner doing a good job with the hand signals.
First down and 10. Ricky Waters, no place to run, no place to hide. He is inhaled by Tom Barnt. Great defensive play. A loss of 3. Never at a loss is our Jim Nance in New York. First round pick by that team out of Tennessee. Doug Flutie is going to set new career highs this year with this passing. Great season.
And outdid Joe Cap and Fran Tarkenton to the jump pass.
Second down, 13 in the seam. Dawkins chased by Woods into the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. 45 yards, stunning touchdown reception.
The coverage was very soft. Seattle has gone to this side, just a slant from left to right. The coverage was just a little bit too soft initially, and once he got the ball, he outruns everybody. Kevin Lockett with a lot of speed. And Seattle has tried that slant pattern and that quick inside pattern probably 4 times today. That one for the big game.
So Dawkins grabs it. Extra point by Peterson on the Fiegels hold is up and in. Sean Dawkins caught the winning touchdown pass last week against Denver. Comes up with another sensational catch here today. Here's the kickoff. Vanover from the 1-yard line. There goes a flag, and there goes Vanover. Flags all over the field. Tackle was finally made on the play by Willie Williams.
Willie Williams, a starting cornerback for Seattle, playing on special teams. The good football teams, the ones that are planning to go the distance, have to have some of their regulars play on special teams, and the regulars want to be there. Kansas City does not need to start in a hole right now. They needed a little bit of breathing room to try to match that last score and get back in it before they get into the 4th quarter.
Number 83 of the kick receiving team. That penalty is declined. Holding number 44 of the receiving team. Wow. That penalty is accepted. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
First and 10. Play action. Gerbach outside to the tight end Gonzalez. And he is devoured by cornerback Sean Springs. No gain on the play. Buffalo and the Jets. And look at the Colts, who led 30-3 at halftime, trouncing all over Philadelphia. Tennessee in a battle of the top teams in the Central. Carolina over Cleveland. Other scores in the NFL. Green Bay finally on top of Detroit. Second down and 10.
And the NFC Central is getting jump. Everybody right at the top.
Play action. Great fake again by Gerbach. Going long. Joseph. He had beaten Bellamy, and he was looking at 6 wide open at the Seattle 40. A killer distance. They're down and 10 from the 10. They're back again with time. Throws a pass short of a first down.
Boy, that is a backbreaker, especially when Seattle just scored on a long touchdown and you drop a long touchdown from a Kansas City standpoint.
3 consecutive 3-and-outs for the Chiefs. Charles Jordan from the 37. Gets a block, breaks a tackle of Richardson, staggers ahead, works his way, whittles his way up to the 47, a return at 10, punt of 45, and the tackle made by Minuski. John Kitten has thrown 2 touchdown passes today. Ricky Waters has scored 2 touchdowns, but this time Jerome Woods tracks him down. No gain on the play.
Kansas City's job right now is a defensive one. Get the ball back, 3 and out, right back to that offense, hopefully get a little field position out of it. From the standpoint of Seattle, if they could move the ball down and at least get 3 points out of this, they've just marched right down and scored two times in a row. The momentum goes out of the sails. Seattle starting from their own 45 and own 17, the starting spot for Kansas City. That's a big difference.
2nd down and 10. Waters again, barging up the middle, and nothing is there. O'Neal and Williams make the tackle, and many great rivalries are being played today. NFL.com is spotlighting the most memorable. 3rd down and 9. Just shy of the 48 in Seattle territory. 4 receivers deployed. Here comes Williams. He dumps it off. It's caught by Ricky Waters and panning his way to the 45, but shy of the first down by 2.
Leslie O'Neal with a big stop right there, along with the rest of the defensive unit. Carlton Gray involved on that one. The screenplay probably been Seattle's best play.
Ricky Waters has accounted for 2 touchdowns, 1 through the air and 1 on the ground. And the Seattle Seahawks, in first place in the West, lead the Chiefs 24-13. Will return to Kansas City after this message from your local station as your passes. Ricky Waters, touchdowns on the ground and through the air. A demoralized Chiefs side. Seattle trying to expand their already 2-game lead in this division.
You can sense in their faces a little bit of desperation creeping into this ball game from Kansas City side.
And the first play of the 4th quarter is a punt by Fiegels into the end zone. The Chiefs will begin it at their 20-yard line. And tonight on CBS, don't miss an all-new 60 Minutes followed by a powerful all-new Touched by an Angel. Then Hallmark.
I think they've got to carry the load and take a couple of chances. I would expect them to spread it out. First play, they do.
1st and 10, Gerback right to work, going outside. Caught by Derek Alexander. Spun around, and I think he may have the first down near the 30-yard line. A gain of 10. Sean Springs was covering.
You know, when I say carry the load, I mean take it on yourselves to win this ball game right now, not wait for the defense to give you a position. And it also means that you probably aren't going to be playing close to the vest in terms of the running game. You're going to have to take a few out-of-character plays and put them in the ball game.
Mike Cloud, a rookie, is in the backfield for the 2nd time today. Cloud with the carry. Boston College's all-time leading rusher, pounding his way for 3. It'll set up 2nd down and 7. Michael Sinclair with the tackle.
Mike Cloud's an interesting guy. He's got a lot of speed. Special teams guy's a returner. Told Coach Cunningham last week, said, just give me the ball about 12 or 13 times. I will turn this thing loose for you. He's a rookie with a lot of confidence. 7th running back chosen in the just completed draft.
From the 33, 2nd down and 7. Ronnie Johnson on the move. Gerback. Oh, here comes Sinclair, and there goes Gerback. Sinclair chasing Gerback right out of bounds. Wow. What pursuit. What a game Michael Sinclair is having. And Victor Riley, the right tackle, is getting torched a lot.
He is, but Elvis Gerback made a terrible mistake on the side. And he was being chased. No question about it, but that's what that throwaway is designed to do. Save the tackle.
Now 3rd and 18, back at the 22. Gerback with time across the middle. It's caught by Sheehy, has to get to the 41, and again Seattle's defense doesn't break. Tackle made by Hanks and Williams and Brown. A gain of 15 when they needed 18 yards. And it's 3 and out for the Chiefs again for the 4th consecutive time.
But they wouldn't have needed that many yards if Elvis Gerbach throws the ball away on the previous play. And you can hear the crowd. They figured that one out pretty quick. They're booing. They're unhappy with that kind of play, and it's uncharacteristic for Elvis Gerbach. He's a smart football player. He just had a little mental lapse on that one, and it cost his team dearly.
The punt by Pope. Fair catch at the 11-yard line by Charles Jordan. 52-yard punt. Seahawks in control. Seattle Seahawks quarterback Warren Moon, who was let go. He had been in Seattle 2 years, was scheduled to make $5 million this year, and Mike Holmgren felt that Kitna had it and that Moon was expendable. But for John Kitna, Moon was crucial because he was very involved in his development. First down and 10. Oh, what a defensive play by Dan Williams. Knocking down Ricky Waters back at the 5.
That's just pinning your ears back and coming hard, even though you know it's going to be. Coming right here. Here's Dan Williams coming across. Nobody can get to him. He comes across so quick. Inside, right past the first blocker, which is Brian Milne. I don't think Brian Milne ever saw Dan Williams. He was so far in the backfield.
Dan Williams held out last year, wanted more money, sat at his home in Georgia, became more frustrated when Marty Schottenheimer left. Gunther Cunningham was the coach. He decided, I'll take the money and I'll be back, and he started. Second down, 15. Waters again. Donnie Edwards with the tackle after a gain of 2.
Chester McLaughlin in on it as well. And here's where the defense now, if they can hold them with a 3 and out, back them up a little bit, give their offense field position, Kansas City can get back in the game.
Chiefs giving Seattle a taste of their own medicine.
I think both of them have given them a good taste of some good football this afternoon. You see Chester McLaughlin, he is not only playing good football the last few weeks, but he is fired up on this particular snap.
Huge play, 3rd and 13 from the 7. Pittman in the end zone. Chase throws outside, caught by fullback Reggie Brown. Donnie Edwards has him. Dishman puts him away. They had to get to the 21-yard line. He only gains 4, and Seattle has got a punt.
Big time pressure on John Kitna. Kept his poise and found a receiver, but not nearly enough for the first down.
Seattle's 2nd consecutive 3 and out. Chiefs have had 4 in a row, 3 and out.
That just reflects good defense. I don't think this offensive ball clubs, neither one of them, are having a bad day. The defense, though, is going to win some of those battles.
Jeff Beagles, who's been in a slump, ran over back at the 40 of Seattle. They're setting up the return. High, towering kick. Vanover going all the way back to his 30. Breaking tackles, weaving his way upfield, and he's past the 40 to the 41. Tackle made by Fabian Bones and Max Strong. 58-yard punt and a beautiful stadium, Kansas City. Kevin Harlan, Sam Weich. Pretty important series here for the Chiefs.
Important for them and Victor Riley, the right tackle. They need to give him some help. He's having a lot of trouble. Matt LeBounty's in there in place of Michael Sinclair now, though. Sinclair has been doing a number on him.
From the 41, 1st and 10. Down the middle he goes to his tight end, Gonzalez. Wrapped up by James Logan, taking the place today of Darren Smith. It's a gain of 9 on 1st and 10 to the tight end, Gonzalez.
First throw is quick to Gonzalez to the inside. He's just going to come up here and line up, break to the inside, just throwing the ball. He settles down, sees his own defense. Anthony Simmons is there to make the first hit, but you don't have to make big yardage on every down. You need to make positive yardage, march down, and get that first touchdown or field goal under your belt if you're Kansas City.
2nd down and 1. The fake to Sheehy. Play action for Gerbach, hit by Daniels, and that pass is dropped by fullback Richardson, covered by Logan at the 46. Incomplete.
Hurried throw that time by Elvis Gerbach. Had plenty of time to throw it. Anytime you lay the ball off like that in the middle, try to hit his numbers. Try to throw it right in his sternum. If you make him reach or reach back for the ball, it's going to pop straight up. A lot of them are intercepted that way.
Gerbach, aside from that faux pas in the last series, has not looked that bad this afternoon.
No, he's had a good game, but he did make a bad mistake a moment ago.
Bennett in the backfield, 3rd and 1. Bennett the call around the Richardson block. He hurdles his way for a first down. He gets to the 46. He gains 5 when he needed a couple. Williams the tackle.
Not help yourself.
Kansas City's first down since 14 minutes remained in the third quarter. Incredible drought. From the 45, Bennett again. Bennett was the star in the first half, and this time he gallops for 4 to the 41, tackled by rookie Antonio Cochran.
Off the right side, David Zott and Tony Gonzalez, the lead blockers that time. A lot of different blocking combinations by Kansas City. They're showing Seattle a lot of things. Seattle, on the other hand, though, their defensive strategy has been very smart this afternoon. And they've come up with a few calls. Jim Lynn, of course, replacing Fritz Shermer, who passed away early in the season, in the preseason, doing a good job of countering what Kansas City's doing.
Second down, 7 from the Seattle 42. The fake to Bennett. Great fake by Gerber. Look at the time. Wide open the receiver, Derek Alexander at the 15-yard line. Alexander the catch. Willis, the linebacker, was covering. It's a gain of 26 yards to Alexander.
Kevin Lockett is lined up here. He's going to clear out and then coming all the way across from left to right.
Willis again with the tackle. The Chiefs are carving up the Seattle defense. It's a gain of 14 yards.
Good quick throws again. James Willis is the linebacker this time. Now watch him as he drops back. He peels, turns, can't close on it fast enough though. The coverage is there. Gonzalez is that big target. I mentioned early in the game that I thought Gonzalez would be a big factor in the outcome of this game. He's coming into play now.
Sinclair back in for Seattle. First and goal from the 5. It's Bennett diving and brought down. Riddick Parker got him. Cortez Kennedy 96 got him. No gain on the play.
Can you feel the intensity picking up right here?
Absolutely.
Wide receivers blocking down the field. Everybody going after things. That time Lonnie Johnson was split out like a wide receiver. He was blocking after the whistle blew.
Sam, it seems to me the Chiefs play better when they play with a sense of urgency.
Well, it's time. This is it. They should be played at the top of their game because this is an urgent time for them.
Chiefs have struggled in the red zone. On the 5, second down goal. It's Ben again, shifting his way, weaving for 6. The Kansas City Chiefs are back in business.
This time, the strategy goes in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. Darrell Williams, the safety for Seattle, blitz from the left side right here. This is a column as you see them right here with 6:49 though,
and their first attempt of the season. For 2, 4 receivers platoon. Gerber, good blocking by Riley. Here comes Riddick Parker. Here comes Sinclair. The throw is dropped, almost intercepted, incomplete at the 5. Kevin Lockett was in the sights. So Gunther Cunningham trails by 5 with 6:49 to play. Wow, what a game in Kansas City.
Well, he obviously was on somebody else's property there.
Bentley with the kickoff. Lamont Green from the 6-yard line for Seattle. Up the middle he goes and charging to the 31. And so Seattle will begin there. Coming up on the American General postgame show, Jim Craig, Randy, and Jim.
Block as they can. This is when they get into that, what I call 4-minute drill, but you use all 40 seconds on every snap that you can. Keep the clock running. Don't go out of bounds. Protect the football.
On the 31, first and 10. Play action by Kitna. Winding up, going deep. He's got Galloway, but there's a bad fluttering pass. A flag has been thrown at the 49. It's incomplete. The penalty is against Kansas City. And not James Hasty, but rather Chris Dishman. Dishman guilty on the side. He's already been burned for a touchdown today. Got caught there.
Illegal contact. Number 26 is the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Now this is not interference. Watch him push his hand out there and try to keep Joey Galloway from going by him.
Penalty number 8 on the Chiefs. Kitna from his 36, first down and 10. 5-point Seattle lead. Blocked by Walter Jones, affording the quarterback time, and that is right through the hands of the leaping Mike Pritchard. Incomplete pass, second down and 10. Seattle Sam has not won in this stadium since 1990.
And they didn't win before that. until 1980. So they went 10 years before they won in 1990, and here it is 1999. Mike Holmgren, a little bit unusual play selection right here. A lot of coaches wouldn't go this route. The play action throwing deep down the field with 6.5 left and trying to protect a 5-point lead.
Seattle has won 4 consecutive games coming in. They lead the division by 2. Chiefs have lost 2 in a row. Second down and 10 from the 36. The fake to Waters. Here comes Hicks. Kitna nimbly gets by. The crafty Kitna diving. There's a flag thrown on a first down run as it stands now a gain of 11. Donnie Edwards was on the heels of Kitna, but the flag is against Seattle.
I think Chester McLaughlin was held. That'll bring it back. You notice just before the snap, Joey Galloway went in motion. We'll wait till the call here.
Illegal block in the back by the offense. Number 79, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Second down.
This crowd in full flowers. Second down and 17 at the 29-yard line of Seattle. Handoff to Waters, a block by Fourier. He gets another block from Galloway and up to the 37-yard line, a gain of 9. It's Tongue, Dishman, and Patton with the tackles for the Chiefs.
This is when you see the Kansas City Chiefs. Watch the pursuit coming all from inside. The pursuit just slides right down the line. There you see the linebackers, see both of them now. They start to slide. This is when you see Kansas City start to try to strip the ball. They drill on this over and over. That's why their turnover ratio is so high. They'll stand them up. The first tackler is not going to try to bring the ball carrier down. He's going to stand him up so the second guy come in and strip it.
Third down and 8. Kitna moving up. McLaughlin got his hand. The ball is loose. Incomplete pass. Chester McLaughlin with a riveting series in that play. Here's the punt. High and long. Vanover from the 14 steps out of bounds. 48-yard punt. Fiegels does his job again. The left tackle.
They really like him. They keep using the word close. This guy's real close to being ready to be a starter.
From the 14, here comes the blitz by Bellamy. Tate picked it up. The pass by Gerback incomplete. The pocket crumbles, and on him, Cortez Kennedy, who they think might be having the best season or one of the best seasons of his career, with the play.
And he has to be playing well, right? He's number 96. You see him coming straight up the middle with a push. Sam Adams, his buddy on that interior line, is not with the team today. He's injured, along with Darren Smith, the linebacker.
He's the only guy on this entire team that has ever won in Kansas City before. He was on that 90 Seattle team. Second down and 10 from the 14. Gerback with King in his face. The pass is caught on the near side. Grab by Andre Rison, another catch. Tackle made by Chris Canny. Picking up 4 is Andre Rison.
If they don't make it here.
Third down and 6 from the 18. Gerback outside. Caught by Alexander. And Derek Alexander is short of the first down. He picks up 4. He needed 5. Kansas City has got a punt. This game has seen how they've got a punt with 4.5 to play in the game.
Gunther Cunningham's doing the right thing. You can't risk not making the first down this far backed up at this stage of the game. There's too much time left.
The punt by the rookie Pope. Fair caught by Jordan on a knee, crawling to the 42. 37-yard punt. For the Chiefs, their 5th 3-and-out in the last 6 possessions. This was a must game for the Kansas City Chiefs today.
Well, look how big the swing is. You go 7-3 and then 6-4 versus 8-2 and 5-5, and you're just about out of it if you're a Kansas City Chief. Seattle trying to bury their opponent, their opposition here.
The Chiefs would be 3 out with 6 to play.
And they're not very good. They have not been very good on the road. They've been unstoppable here and undefeated at home. They need to win all their games at home from this point forward.
Seattle 2 timeouts. Kansas City with 3. On the 42, first and 10, handoff to Waters with 2 blockers, including Reggie Brown. Finally brought down near midfield by Donnie Edwards. It's a gain of 8 on first down by Ricky Waters, who's had an effective day.
Situation like this. Those linemen get together before they come in the game. They look each other in the eye and they say, all right, now we dominate our opponent. We make sure that we can keep the ball on the ground and drive it. They love this kind of situation because they know the opponent's expecting to run. It's man on man, muscle on muscle. This is what they spend all that time in the weight room and at the dinner table.
Second down, 2 shy of midfield. John Kitten has thrown 2 touchdowns today. Ricky Waters galloping for the first down, and here he goes. A foot race with Hasty and Derek Thomas. Ricky Waters is inside the Kansas City 5. Ricky Waters, the ball carrier. 45 yards of play. A 45-yard gallop by Waters.
Look at the 2 lead blockers now right in front. They're going to take 2 people out. Ricky Waters then is through it before anybody can get there. Derek Thomas really had the only chance at the line of scrimmage, didn't get there. And then it was James Hasty saving the touchdown, but they're all the way to the 5-yard line. And you talk about being safe now with 3 minutes to go.
The Chiefs just allowed their longest run of the year, and that run may signal an end to their year.
Well, you know, it's never over until you're mathematically out of it. But the odds go way down from this at this point if you don't win this ball game. Yeah. Well, let me tell you, Dennis Erickson had a pretty good team here for him to accept, and he's taken them from there and done a great job.
First and goal from the 5. Waters, the block from Brown. Ricky trying to chisel something, and he can't. No gain on the play, second down and goal.
And the defense will take timeouts now. They've got 3 to burn, 2 more. They will take timeouts and try to conserve time for their offense if they can hold Seattle to 3.
102 yards on the ground. 28th career 100-yard game. Tonight on 60 Minutes, is Cancun more of a haven for cocaine coming into the U.S. than it is for tourists coming from the United States? Tonight on 60 Minutes. You know, Seattle, Sam, has won in Green Bay. They may win in Kansas City, but they have gone into some of the most difficult, some of the most treacherous territory in the league, and they played well.
And John Kitna, a young quarterback, has probably as good a situation as any young quarterback. Mike Holmgren has been through this with Brett Favre in Green Bay. Brett Favre was a little bit, according to the experts, a little more stubborn and a little bit more deliberate and excitable than John Kitna. John Kitna seems to study everything that Mike Holmgren asked him to do it and finishes off what he's asked. He has today.
Second down goal from the 5. The Dancing Waters. No place to go. Leslie O'Neal and Jerome Woods were there with the tackles.
Another quick timeout by the defense, which is the right strategy at this stage.
And now Kansas City has burned all their timeouts.
There'll be one more stop, though, at the 2-minute warning.
Right now we're at 2:46. Coming up in the American General postgame show, Jim, Craig, Randy, and Jerry will get you caught up on all the scores, all the highlights, recap all the action from today. The American General postgame show coming up next on CBS.
And now is where the 1-point conversion earlier. Gunther Cunningham went for the 2-point conversion on their last touchdown, trying to get down to a 3-point difference so that a field goal could tie the game. But now, since they didn't get at least 1 point, if the field goal is made right here, Kansas City's got to go down and make the 2-point conversion just to tie.
Kansas City and Gunther Cunningham have lost 2 consecutive games at Indianapolis, at Tampa Bay. Kansas City came into today undefeated at home. Third and goal from the 5. Waters again, breaking free, touchdown.
All that other strategy is now obsolete. And here's a little bit of Ricky Waters' emotion coming out, and his teammates saying, man, let's go back and just enjoy the win. How about this? The young quarterback grabbing a hold of the old veteran and pulling him to the sideline.
Ricky Waters, 3 touchdowns today, 2 on the ground, 1 receiving. And Seattle with 2:43 to play. The Chiefs out of timeouts. And their consecutive win. The ensuing kickoff by Peterson after the 5-yard Waters touchdown run. From the 9-yard line, bobbled, then reeled in by Vanover. Finds a seam, gets a block. runs outside, and Fabian Bones escorts him to the Kansas City 34. So now Elvis Grbac, with no timeouts, and down 31-19 with 2:30 on the fourth quarter clock, come up, cook up something, concoct some kind of rally here late.
Well, let's tell you, a quick score, you still have the 2-minute warning. A quick score and the onside kick. It's a long shot, but you still have a chance.
Great time for Grbac, goes underneath. Hits his tight end, caught by Tony Gonzalez. So Gonzalez picks up a gain of 8. Chiefs, who have lost 2 in a row, with the loss today, will fall 3 games in back of first place Seattle. Trailing now 31-19. Ricky Waters, 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 receiving. That receiving touchdown, by the way, his first since 1995. Second down and 2. Outside it goes, and the pass is caught by Joe Horn. Clock continues to roll. He did not get out of bounds.
Want to try to get there as quick as you can, but Seattle is playing with a 3-man rush and everybody playing with outside technique, not allowing those receivers to get out of bounds if they catch it inside.
First down and 10.
3-man rush again.
Grbac hit by Sinclair, dumps it off to the shifty Sheehy. Running outside, tackled by Brown, didn't get out in time, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning, which actually is 1:54 to play in this game. A dejected sideline for the Chiefs. They were unbeaten at home until today. The city felt was a must game should they lose. 3 games out with 6 to play, and then Kansas City goes to Oakland, Denver, Minnesota comes here, Pittsburgh comes home, then at Seattle and Oakland again. It is a rigorous rest of the way for this what will be 5-5 ball club.
Well, the reason it is a must-win is you have to win the Western AFC West in order to go to the playoffs, because the wild card teams are coming out of the AFC East this year.
On TV, timeout.
Maybe all of them.
Yeah, exactly. Indianapolis, Miami, Buffalo, and New England may all get in the East.
And as you mentioned, that schedule is awfully tough, all division opponents, so you do have a chance to climb back in. It's not mathematically over with, but this was such an important win because it was right here at Arrowhead.
On the Seattle 45, 1st and 10, Grbac going deep. Canny will intercept it at the 5. Chris Canny, who played at Kansas State, a former #1 of New England, cut by the Patriots, cut by the Bears, picked up by Mike Holmgren in Seattle, comes up with a huge play. It is the 2nd Chiefs turnover today.
Kansas City had to take some chances, and this one doesn't pay off. Chris Canny's laying in wait. Ball's a little bit underthrown and thrown back to the inside. You want those kind of passes right along the sideline so that if it's incomplete, or if it's not caught by your guy, it will be incomplete, out of bounds.
No, Sam, the Chiefs were at the same crossroads a season ago, and they didn't respond, and they finished 7-9. Do you see that same makeup in this year's team at 5-5 now?
Gunther Cunningham has brought another form of discipline to this ball club, and we've heard from several of their players that they respect him so much because he respects the game. He preaches that, and that they don't want to disappoint him. I think as long as players are playing not to disappoint their coach, they have that much respect for him, they're still in the hunt. Nobody gives in.
The Chiefs, without timeouts, cannot stop the clock. 3 games down with 6 to play for Kansas City. And for Seattle, in one of the most anticipated seasons in the history of the franchise, look at their glistening 8-2 record orchestrated by Coach Mike Holmgren.
I think everybody in the neighborhood now is going to say, okay, it's all right to turn on those loudspeakers in the dome on Friday afternoons. We'll go shopping for you.
2nd down, 11. And the clock will run down. Our producer today, Bob Dekas, our director, Dick Klein. Special thanks to our statistician, Pat McGrath, our spotter, former Kansas State quarterback, Stan Weber, the executive producers of the NFL on CBS, Sean McManus and Terry Ewards. Coordinating director of the NFL on CBS, Larry Cavallino. NFL Today, directed by Bob Matina, associate director for today's game. Deb Gelman, broadcast associate, Jeff St. Armand. Seattle will win their 5th consecutive game. And coming into the game, Pete Kendall said, It's either a dogfight the rest of the way or everybody is going to watch us collapse. Well, there doesn't look to be any collapse in Seattle. The Chiefs have lost their 3rd in a row. This may have been for the Seahawks their biggest hurdle of the season.
It broke that string since 1990 of winning in this very tough place to win. Michael Sinclair, a terrific ball game. John Kitna continues to get better. In fact, the entire ball club. Joey Galloway, the addition of him a week ago, makes the team stronger in so many different ways. And coming in here and winning this one, not only does it add just one more to the win column, an awful lot of confidence to your ball club.
So Seattle gets 3 touchdowns by Ricky Watters, 2 touchdown passes by John Kitna. They go to 8-2 and 4-1 on the road. The Chiefs drop to 5-5. For Sam Weich, Kevin Harlan saying so long. After this, we'll go back to New York for the American General post-game show. This is a presentation of CBS.